calls me superstar. Body call me Sabah, Mr. Sabah. If I believe, will you go believe now in me who I am? If I tell you, will you believe me? You will ask me where I come from. If I tell you, will you comprehend? You asking me who I am. If I tell you, will you believe me? You are asking me where I come from. If I tell you, will you comprehend? Hey, I'm composed of fire. I'm supernatural by design. I'm breathing well out of water. I'm one with a faith. I'm one of the spirit. Christ Jesus in me. Don't wonder why I've always been the best. I'm a superstar without wings of the sky. Christ is my wings, superstar without legs. Watching from the mountains of A. I'm a superstar. I can't be anything less. It's not about me. It's
Hi, Dr. Kali. Are you playing?
about who lives in me. It's not about me. It's about who lives in me. You aren't seeing me who I am. If I tell you, will you believe me? You aren't seeing me where I come from. If I tell you, will you comprehend? You aren't seeing me who I am. If I tell you, will you believe me? You aren't seeing me where I come from. If I tell you, will you comprehend? Hey, I'm composed of fire. I'm supernatural by design. I breathe well under the water. I'm one with the faith. I'm born of the spirit. Christ Jesus in me. Don't wonder why I've always been the best. I'm a superstar without wings. I've touched the sky. Christ is my wings. Superstar without legs. I'm watching from the mountain sky. I'm a superstar. I can't be anything less. It's not about me. It's about who lives in me. It's not about me. It's about who lives in me. I'm a superstar without wings. I've touched the sky. Christ is my wings. Superstar without legs. I'm watching from the mountain star. Superstar. I can't be anything less. It's not about me. It's about who lives in me. It's not about me. It's about who lives in me. Yeah, my wealth is not about me. It's about who lives in me. My children, not about me. It's about who lives in me. My concert is not about me. My education, not about me. My life is not about me. Everything is not about me. Your life is not about you. It's all about who lives in you. It's not about you. Your wife, your children, your book, their company, everything is not about you. It's all about Christ. What is in you? It's not about you. It's all about what is in you. It's not about you. It's all about what is in you. Hey, oh, God calls me the guy. God, you call me Ragu. Hey, if I be you, then you come be me. Now who you go believe? God calls me superstar. But you call me Sabah, Mr. Sabah. If I be you, then you come be me. Now who you go believe now? You're asking me who I am. If I tell you, will you believe me? You are asking me where I come from. If I tell you, will you comprehend? You are asking me who I am. If I tell you, will you believe me? You are asking me where I come from. If I tell you, will you comprehend? Hey, I'm composed of fire. I'm supernatural by design. I'm doing well another one. I'm one with the faith. I'm one of the spirit. Christ Jesus lives in me. Don't wonder why. I've always been the best. I'm the superstar. With all wings up on the sky. Christ is my wings, superstar. Without legs, watching from the mountains of hey, I'm a superstar. I can't be anything less. It's not about me. It's about who lives in me. It's not about me. It's about who lives in me. You are asking me who I am. If I tell you, will you believe me? You are asking me where I come from. If I tell you, will you comprehend? You are asking me who I am. If I tell you, will you believe me? You are asking me where I come from. If I tell you, will you comprehend? Hey, I'm composed of fire. I'm supernatural by design. I breathe well under the water. I'm one with the flame. I'm one of the spirit. Christ Jesus lives in me. Don't wonder why. I've always been the best. I'm the superstar without wings out of the sky. Christ is my wings. Superstar without legs. I'm watching from the mountains top. Hey, I'm superstar. I can't be anything less. It's not about me, it's about who lives in me. It's not about me, it's about who lives in me. I'm a superstar without wings, I'll touch the sky. I face my wings, superstar without legs. I'm watching from the mountains top. I'm superstar, I can't be anything less. It's not about me, it's about who lives in me. It's not about me, it's about who lives in me, yeah. My work is not about me, it's about who lives in me. My children, not about me, it's about who lives in me. My contract is not about me, my education not about me, my life is not about me, everything is not about me. Your life is not about you, it's about who lives in you. It's not about you, you're what you're children, you're what their company, everything is not about you, it's about Christ who lives in you. It's not about you, it's about who lives in you. It's not about you, it's about who lives in you. It's not about you. Hey, God calls me the guy. God, you call me Mugu. Hey, if I be you, then you come to me. Now will you go believe? God calls me superstar. But you call me Sabah, Mr. Sabah. If I be you, then you come to me. Now will you go believe? Now you're asking me who I am. If I tell you, will you believe me? You are asking me where I come from. If I tell you, will you comprehend? You are asking me who I am. If I tell you, will you believe me? You are asking me where I come from. If I tell you, will you comprehend? Hey, I'm composed of fire. I'm supernatural by design. I breathe when I'm under the water. I'm one with the flame. I'm one of the spirit. Christ Jesus lives in me. Don't wonder why. I've always been the best. I'm a superstar without wings. I'll touch the sky. Christ is my wings. Superstar without legs. Watching from the mountains top. Hey, I'm a superstar. I can't be anything less. It's not about me. It's about who lives in me. It's not about me. It's about who lives in me. You are asking me who I am. If I tell you, will you believe me? You are asking me where I come from. If I tell you, will you comprehend? You are asking me who I am. If I tell you, will you believe me? You are asking me where I come from. If I tell you, will you comprehend? I'm composed of fire. I'm supernatural by design. I breathe well under the water. I'm one with the faith. I'm one of the spirit. Christ Jesus is in me. My boss. I've always been the best. I'm the superstar with the wings of touch the sky. Christ is my wings. Superstar without legs. I'm watching from the mountain star. I'm a superstar. I can't be anything less. Yeah. It's not about me, it's not about who lives in me. It's not about me, it's not about who lives in me. I'm the superstar without wings of touch the sky. I space my wings, superstar without legs. I'm watching from the mountain star. Superstar, yes. I can't be anything less. Yes. It's not about me, it's about who lives in me. It's not about me, it's about who lives in me. Yeah, my work is not about me, it's about who lives in me. My children, not about me, it's about who lives in me. My concert is not about me, my education, not about me. My life is not about me, everything. It's not about me, your life. It's not about you. It's about who lives in you. It's not about you. You're what you're doing. You're what they're company. Everything is not about you. It's about Christ. Who lives in you. It's not about you. It's about who lives in you. It's not about you. It's about who lives in you. Welcome, guys. Welcome. So let me put this off. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you so much. You're welcome. So for those in class, I'll just want to know your names. Start from the left. Yes. Professor Folabi, the man they could not arrest. Welcome. Yes, sir.
I am Joseph Opinion.
Yeah. What do you do?
I'm an evangelist who distribute the word of God, distributor to
Wow. Wow.
Special grace of God. Jabi Abuja.
Great. That glad. You work in a pharmacy. Wow. Yes, ma'am. Your name and what you do?
My name is Olukemi. I'm a teacher.
Oh, teacher. Welcome. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Okay, so those who are online, you introduce yourself there. As we go ahead, we'll open up the line so you can make your calls for those who want to make calls. So yesterday we worked on quite a lot of things. Yeah, I'll just recap very fast because I want us to end a little earlier today. I'll recap very fast. Yeah, we talked about purpose. This conference is about purpose. The theme is purpose discovery for impact and income. Yesterday we agreed that purpose is real, and we had said that purpose is the reason for your existence. We also said purpose is why and what you are here to do. Purpose is the reason you wake up in the morning. Yes? And that is the problem. A lot of us do not have reason for waking up in the morning. If your reason for waking up in the morning is money, when you make a little of it, you can't wake up again. You just, sit there. Yeah? Then we talked about the fact that if you think that purpose is not serious, just think about the fact of just these three proofs. Number one, that your genetic combination, Dr. Kali, Evangelist Okeke, and all of us here, that your genetic combination, nobody has had that genetic combination before you, and nobody will have it after you. Yeah, the manufacturer cannot spend this time manufacturing one person, and there was no purpose for that. That is, it's just stupid. Yeah. So even those who mass produce, they have purpose for even the mass production, let alone this one that is specific. Nobody has the same fingerprint like you. Nobody has the same voice code. Nobody has, quite a lot people don't have like you. Yeah. So if that is true, we agree that that's enough proof that you have a purpose here. And we said that the second proof is aptitudes. Aptitude are the things that you can do. The things you can do. Yes, the things you can do so easily. They come so easily to you. And yesterday we tried to talk about it. A lot of people can see I can teach easily. In fact, if I'm teaching with PowerPoint, it's always a distraction because I'm comfortable teaching without it. It can only be because it is a natural thing to me, not just because I'm intelligent. Yes, yeah, there are a lot of intelligent people who can even say what they want to say to another person. Now, I love counseling. I can see problems where you can't see problems. I can see opportunities where you can't see opportunities. It's easy for me to turn money, or rather, turn problem into money. It's easy for me to, when people say I don't have idea on what to do, it confuses me because, like, if you touch me when I wake up, you can see like a million things you can do immediately and make money. And a lot of them, you don't even need to put in cash before you are able to make money out of them. So these are not just because I'm intelligent, but they are also because I have some kind of calling. Yes. So those aptitudes, you must find them. A lot of people like helping people. A lot of people love counseling. A lot of people love doing something with their hands. A lot of people can find answers to problems and questions and all these kinds of things. Yeah. Then the third one we talked about is that there's a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of men. I was just discussing with one of my friends this afternoon, and she's okay, doing fine, and all the but where she is, she feel like going to another place. She feel like putting her dreams into work. Why? Because there's a vacuum in her heart that cannot be filled by just salary and making just money and all those. Those are proof that you have a purpose. Then we went ahead to talk about the fact that purpose, all of us, our purpose, all of us here is helping God achieve his vision on earth. And we said, so one vision, many missions. In other words, there are many callings in our lives, but they are all helping humanity. But we also said in our own individual life too, there are also, one vision. There's also one vision, but also it can manifest in a lot of things. You can be a pastor, then you are also, into writing books. Then you are also into consulting and mentoring and coaching. You are also into entrepreneurship. You are also into public speaking. You are also, yeah, they are all coming together to help the same thing. Okay. Some people who will not believe you when you preach may look at your life and what you do, and then they want to also believe what you said. Yeah. So one vision, many missions, and we said that purpose is dynamic. In other words, most times you don't know what the purpose is, but as you keep going along the line, it start manifesting. I would say take purpose like headlamp. When you drop at Abuja airport, you want to go to your house, maybe you would say from Lube there. What happens? Most times you cannot see beyond 500 meters. And when you put on the light and you can see 500 meters, keep going. As you keep going, the other things will keep what? Manifesting. But if you want to know everything before you start, it will not work. Yes, it's only God that can know the beginning from the end and the end from the beginning. So you should be able to understand that. Yeah. So if you've got that, praise, thank you very much. Welcome. So if you've got that, the next thing we talked about is that there's a difference between your job regarding your work. I would say your job is that thing you do in your organization for which you are paid. But we said your work is the reason God brought you here. And most times, if you don't find your work, you will always not be happy. Your work leverages your gifts, but your job leverages your skills. Yes. So most times when you are doing your job, sometimes you struggle. You may be very good at it, but you struggle. You are not as happy. You get drained when you get home. But when you do your work from morning till night, you can do the work, yeah, and you don't get drained because it's just so natural to you. So find your work as against your job. You're a civil servant, you are a doctor, you work as this one, that one. It may not be your work, okay? Your work must be found, and you need to stumble into quite a lot of things before you can find it. Don't be tied to one thing. Don't say, oh, because people know me as this one, I can't venture into another thing. No, it's not true. Yes, all the things you gathered in your what? In your job, you will use them in your work. Jesus was a carpenter, yes, and yeah, he became, yeah, he became, somebody who went ahead to talk about saving the world. And if that is true, there is something he understood in carpentry that he used, yeah, in his work. If you've got that, then we talked about 10 tools that can help you to actually live a purposeful life. We talked about understanding, the wealth spectrum. We said that a lot of people are poor because they don't understand wealth. Wealth is not just about money. Wealth has to do with a lot of, yeah, what concerns your life and your destiny here on earth. For instance, we said that there are five spectra of wealth. Number one, we talked about spiritual wellness and spiritual wealth. You have to be spiritually well. Yes, a lot of us are not spiritually well, so because of that, we are unhappy. We can't do anything, and our lives are not aligning. And we said, yeah, I don't care what religion you are in. What I care is that you are faithful to God. Yes, you understand there's God in heaven who you should also you should always pander to, and then you try to wait on him to talk to you. We also talked about the second. We talked about health, your health and wellness. We talked a lot about that. We spent a lot of time. We had to do some exercises ranging from breathing to others. We talked about the red in what? In health and wellness. We talked about relaxation, we talked about exercise, and we talked about dieting. Yeah, when I got home, just I opened my phone and I saw one of our friends had died of tumor in the brain and all those kind of things. Okay, so sometimes why these things develop could be, you don't listen to your body. A lot of us still drink mineral at our ages, and yeah, we drink beer, we do this one, and you know, if you drink those things and your body is complaining, stop. Listen to your body because as it keeps complaining, what happens? It will break down. Yes, mineral. Some people you eat Gary, you go to your sleep and you have restless sleep. You don't even know. Yes, you don't do anything about that. So start understanding the importance of relaxation. We talked about sleep. We talked about being able to breathe in and breathe out, relax. And we talked about not watching television till you are going to sleep, or watching your phone till you go to sleep. And we talked also about what you watch on social media and all those kind of things. Then we talked about exercise. We said a lot of people, in fact, ask the question: can you deliberately remember when your hand went ahead above your head uh, that yesterday? A lot of people couldn't remember. Why? Because really, a normal person could stay for weeks without his hands going above his head, which is, yeah, a recipe for trouble. And we agreed that the new narcotic, the new cigarette is what? Is sitting. Sitting is what? The new cigarette. Yeah, it is a silent killer. A lot of people sit down from morning till night, especially who do my kind of job, sedentary work, work in ministries, directors, PAMSECs, and all those kinds of people, programmers. You stay there, you don't know that time is going, and then you are there. Over time, you find out that you have started developing a lot of health issues. We talked about dieting, yes, and we talked about all those things. And then we talked about first spiritual wellness and wealth. We talked about um, um, health and wellness. Then the third one, we talked about what? Your love and relationships. And we said a lot of fathers are what? Are absentee fathers. They're not home at all. We talked about that a lot. And a lot of women also career women, no time for home and all those. At the end of the day, the kids are, scattered here and there. Valentine is coming up, fighting with their kids and all. Yeah, because we didn't get the right training. If you give a child vision, the child will forget the television. And that's what happens. Immediately, the child doesn't have, tangible. If a child wants to be the best neurosurgeon, the best cardiothoracic surgeon, the best author, the child vision is too large for the child to start watching television. I'm talking metaphorically. So the point is that parents must be at home. Fathers must be at home, especially because most times a lot of fathers they sit their work to their wives and they are not at home, and it's very wrong. So we talked about love and relationship, and we said, yeah, a lot of men don't love their wives enough because most times, they're running around to get money and all those. They forget other things. They don't love their kids enough, and all those. Yeah, same with women. Then we talked about the fact that when you are getting older, it is these people that will do what that will still be around you. By then, everybody who worked with you, who did this one with you, they're all gone. So that's why your love and relationship must be, looked at. And then you are a career woman, you don't care, you have 100 divorces and all this kind of thing. As the days are going, the evening is coming. You're going to find out that money, doesn't really answer all things. Yeah, and because there are things human beings can do for you. So the third one with that should be the fourth one. And the fourth one, that's the third. Yeah, the third we talked about what? We talked about um what again? Yeah, professional, vocational, and passion. Yes, you have to be well and wealthy, your profession, your vocation, your passion. Like what we are doing today, you must understand your purpose, align it, your job with your work, so that what you are going to do in life will be interesting. Just not living life for money. Yes, money is a colored paper. Yeah, it is wealth. Wealth is something that by its nature, and money is something by its nature. It was created not to be pursued. It was created to be attracted. Yes, creates charm, spiritual charm, physical charm, mental charm, psychological charm, emotional charm. When you create those, charm does what? It attracts things. We say value is anything that is not nothing that solves problems, and value can never be outdated. So we talked about, yeah, developing yourself along that line, and that is where reading comes in. Read. Readers are leaders, learners are earners. Yes, I don't know how long we would say this in Africa. It's so difficult to make an African see the connection between his brain and his pockets. Now, that's a very difficult one to make an African see that. Not just an African, everywhere in the world, people don't see the connection between their brain and their pocket. They just want connection. They want this one. You want connection. You want to be connected. Do you look connectable? I don't want to connect with you. So if you want to connect with me, you look like what I want to connect with. But a lot of people don't think about it. They just want connection, and that is all. Yeah, it's very important that we understand all those. Welcome, ma'am. Yeah. So now the next thing is after profession, this one, that one, we talked about what? Yes, yes, we talked about time and money, and that's the fifth one, yeah? Time and money freedom. We said, that one happens because you have done these other ones right. And but a lot of people pursue that one and they don't do this other four right. What happens? If I am not healthy today, can I come out here? Even if I need to sign a contract of 100 billion, if I'm in the hospital for brain surgery for this one, will I be here? I cannot be here. That is why you must take care of these things. And how long shall we say it for people to understand that these things are like foundation? They are the fundamentals. If you don't get them right, you can't get this other one or other ones right. It's not possible. Sometimes we pursue this money and we ask you, why do you want to make money? Say, people don't insult me too much. Oh. I won't make money. I won't hammer. I bet you, without closing my eyes and prophesy, you can never be rich. Why? the why you want to make money is not strong. Sunny, if you if there is if there is a two-story or rather a four-story building next door and it is burning and they put rope, the rope is not too strong, or they put plank, it's not too strong, and they say if you climb through there and go into that place and bring out somebody, one person, they will give you $1 million. You will not go because you know that what you may die because it's somebody who is alive that will eat the money. But you see, even though you know this thing is not strong, and they say your wife, your baby is inside there, what will you do? You go. You don't need them to give you any money. You go. What's the difference? Why? The why for this one is what? Is stronger than the why for this one. That's why a lot of people don't make money. If I want hammer and make I show people, I want hammer, you can never be rich because your driving force is not strong enough. But if you are doing it because you want to, find your mother died of cancer, you want to make money and build a cancer center, you don't want anybody to die. Why do you think I do what I do? I'm here on a Sunday evening. I'm a rich man by any standard. I'm here on a Sunday. I've been doing this. I'm not charging for money. Why? I'm not selling anything. I discovered that the only reason I came to where I am in life is what? Knowledge. Knowledge conquered my disability. Knowledge conquered everything that disturbed me on earth. And it pains me that people will be looking for connection to the president, looking for connection to, but they don't have anything inside of them. If their governor sees them on the lift and say, Mr. Man, what can I do for you? He doesn't even have one idea he will tell the man. That is why I do what I do. If it's the money, I'll be sleeping. Tomorrow I have training for some MDAs. I've been paid. I have. So the point is, if your why is not strong, immediately there's a little problem. What do? You run away. Immediately there's a little obstacle, you complain and all those. Yes, we talked about that, and then we came to talk about hope. Yes, as one of the second tool for what for a purposeful life. We talked about hope, and we agreed that if you have hope, you can do anything. The reason people don't try is they don't even know that they will succeed. Hope, we talked about three aspects of hope. We talked about you must have a goal and know that this goal is possible. Yeah, number two, we talked about the fact that you must have the willpower, yes, and to know that yes, there's a possibility to achieving this thing. And number three, we talked about the fact that there must be a pathway, that you must have what I call infinite optionality. If this way closed, you don't agree. Another way must open. This way closed. Another way must open. This way closed. Another way must open. Yes, infinite optionality. That will help you a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome online. Please, if you're online, use just a second to click on the share button, whether you are on Facebook page or my Facebook page, or you are on my YouTube or your my Facebook profile. Use the share button to share to your friends so that they can join. Thank you. Yes, do that right away. Thank you. So do that right now. Thank you. So I'm waiting. Just do that because I'll see when you do that. So do that. Thank you. Now, so when we talked about hope, we talked about another tool, the third tool. We talked about knowledge, and we talked a lot about it. We talked about skills. We talked a lot about it. We talked about attitude. We talked a lot about it. In attitude, we said that the reason David killed Goliath was because David had what? Had the right attitude. Yes. The reason I conquer disability is because I have the right attitude. I'm not waiting for my mother, my brother, my sister to help me. I'm not waiting for government. I'm not waiting for anybody. I know that God has given me everything to actually conquer what I'm passing through. Get it right. There is nothing you are passing through that you are authorized to even complain about, because if you couldn't have passed through it, God wouldn't have allowed you to go through that. And I always say that immediately you start understanding, yes, if you start understanding that you are the only person who can pass through what you pass through and still be successful. I'm the only person in my family who could pass through disability and still be wealthy and still be successful academically in every aspect of my life. I'm the only person in this country who could pass through what I pass through, and I smile every day, being successful, not just in academics, in businesses, in everything I do, in my family, in my relationship, and all that. So I am happy that God has chosen me for that purpose. Yes, that's the way to frustrate devil and the way to frustrate, what wants to frustrate you. Yes, yes. If you know that it's a privilege to be chosen to go through that, you take it in good heart and then you go through it, counting it a privilege. What happens? You frustrate devil. Yes, so that's what happens with attitude. Attitude is about what do we call it? Events and outcome. If I slap you right now, Sunny, you're gonna be unhappy about it, but I know you can't slap me back because I'm your mentor. Now, if another person slaps you, what will you do? You slap back and fight and do every other thing, and then you still be unhappy. What's the difference? The difference is not the slap. The difference is in what? This is slap, this is outcome. What happens in between is the problem. What is that? We call it stimulus. Your interpretation of that thing. Look at me. God, why me? Look at evangelist here. Is he more handsome than me? Is he more educated? Why must he have his leg and I don't have my legs? And all those. This country is even government is not planning for you. Disabled person, you're on your own. Look at it. And I did my first degree myself, and my parents trained me. Second degree, I did it myself. Third degree, PhD, I did myself. I traveled the world myself. And nobody's even asking you. And all those kind of God, I don't know this kind of life. Rubbish. Stupid. Yes. So if you want to have a reason for crying, you do what? The reasons are bound. You can even remember Buhari and you start crying. You can just remember Boko Haram, you start crying. You can even remember you when rice was 8,000, you can still buy. Now rice is 25,000, 24,000, you can still buy. You can even remember when it was 8,000, you start crying, even though you are still able to buy when it is. So what's the point? The point is that if you want to cry, you will cry. So what happens is your attitude is more important than the problem. Yes? What's the difference between bitter and better? I. I is the difference between what? Bitter and what? Better. So I am the person who is going to say, this is not going to make me bitter. It's going to make me better. I have the power. So immediately you understand that so we're trying to talk about attitude. Even in discovering your purpose, you keep going, you keep believing, hoping that you're going to find it along the way. It's a matter of time you settle, and God will open your eyes to that. Now, that's where we start. So we want to talk about the remaining ones, and then we talked about favor a little, but let me talk about the remaining ones, and then we quickly go over to the other tools that we want to talk about. Tools for discovering your purpose on earth. Yes, those are. I can't finish the lecture again. They can go back and watch it. Yes, sir.
I have 8 tools now.
Sir?
I have, like, you mentioned 8 tools, am I right? 8.
If I've mentioned about
I have 8.
it's good. Just
Or maybe there's some
don't bother. It's as far as you can use it. It doesn't matter. So let's talk about the next tool. The next tool I talked about is favor. Yes. Now, favor is something I talked about it yesterday. Favor is something that people have not understood very well. A lot of people read their holy books and then they go and take the position of Esau, and they go and take the position of who God will want to bless, or they take the position. Why do you want to take the position of the wrong person? Yes. Don't you see the people who God bless who didn't even merit it? You take that. I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in it at all. I believe in favor. And I give example with this. What is the sign here? MTN. And we agreed that no other person has the same genetic composition completely like you, because that's why your fingerprint is different. And no other person will have it after you. And we say, how can somebody go and manufacture something? And it took that person 9 months. And the person manufactured it, put his stamp on it, and brought it to the market to fail. Are you kidding me? Where do you read? Which kind of Bible and Quran do you read? and all that. And the person just put his mark on it, send it to the market, and say you are going to fail and all that. You're going to say, okay, you want to use it to do his work and all those kind. Why must it be you that are using to do that work? Yes, you have to believe that you are favored. The line has fallen in what? I think is it Psalm 16 verse 6. It said the line has done what? Fallen in pleasant places. For me, I have a godly heritage. So why must I be like, they will follow me and scatter? I don't understand that. Yes, and you see, the human mind has a way of generating powerful waves. I give you a very important example. Have you ever picked the phone to call somebody and the person called you? Has it ever happened to you? It happens every time. They call it what? Telepathy, call it this one, that one, that one. That's how powerful the human mind is. You see, so when you can now imagine when you are imagining the wrong thing. And very important to note, there's always a difference between your faith, oh, I believe I will succeed, I believe, and your expectation. Even Jeremiah 29:11 said what? I know my thought for you, thought of good, not of bad, blah, blah, to make you prosper. Give you what? An expected end. Your expected end. You think, okay, I will succeed, but you are every day you are walking on the road, you are waiting for demon to come out. And all the demon must come out. Have you noticed that, every time you thank God and said, I went to church and I got this water and I put it on my distance, and as I was going home, I had an accident. Thank God I didn't die. Why is that when you were going, you didn't have the accident? That's what we call law of homogeneity. If you get a gun, what you will shoot with the gun will do what? Will appear. In my car, you can't have sticker. I don't do sticker unless it's maybe aluminum or whatever. Sticker, this one, that one, that one. I'm the living fire moving. I don't want this attachment of water or oil. This one, that one, what I hold in my body and all this. No, if I take anything, it's just a reminder. If I just say like I have a coin because I want to have a coin that says remember death. I want to have the coin and put it in my pocket so that every time I touch it, I will say, remember death. Bible said what? Number your death. Is it true? God teach me to do what? Yes. So remember death. You carry it so that whatever your hand find it to do it now, because where you are going, what? There is no work there. That's what the Bible says. There's no work where you are going. So what you find to do now, my friend Femina, he want to change the world. He want to, and he's still one place waiting and all that. I don't know what he wants to do when he's 200 years old. Femi will say, as he come today, and always give me a takamus. Okay. Okay, now the point is very simple. I do hope you're understanding that. Your ability to start understanding that God had favored you. I don't send out a proposal and I'm thinking that it will come out bad. What if? I see a lot of people, some of my friends who, we offered opportunity. You are going for permanent secretaryship. Some of my friends, they are retiring this year now. And you're going for permanent secretary like 2-3 years ago. They say, yeah, Kali, that's in here. You have to have hundreds of millions so you can bribe your way. That exam is not. I say, are you kidding me? What kind of devil is possessing you? The headlamp analogy, take your exam, pass. Do the oral, pass. Do the, what do you call it, ICT, pass. Then, you call your God into work. And then as you pass all this thing, now what is the next? You will know what it is. But now you have just you've retired, rather, you've surrendered. Why? How many of you have ever, written a letter to your governor? How many of you have ever written a letter to president? How many of you have ever written a letter to minister? Or you will say, oh, they don't answer. They will do this one. They do. What demon is holding you? It's not the minister. It's inside of you. Yeah. Then there's about 30-something ministers. If one rejects, go to another one. If one, sometimes that's what we call infinite optionality. And then knowing that God's favor is following you. If the man is like you are here now, I'm a comedian, I will do something to make you laugh. You don't laugh. How is it my problem? Now I want to know now, how is it my problem that you can't laugh? Your problem is a spiritual problem. You need to go to church. You said what? And it's too big for my joke. So how is it my problem? So I hope you understand that. So in life, don't always go and explain things. And he will not buy. He will not buy. You know, their level, they don't buy this kind of thing. How do you know? He will not buy. He doesn't have money. Where will he get 10,000 US dollars? How do you know? Are you in his pocket? Before you show him the thing, he has not bought. If you show him and he doesn't want to buy, he has not bought. So what changed? What really changed? So that's how demon is holding people down, and they are calling God and they're bringing God into the equation. God is a loving father. I don't know how many of you have children, you want them to fail. Every day you say, you must fail, you must fail. I want to use you to show example to others. Go blind, go this one. I know, you know, that's not my God. I don't know where you get that God. It's your life. You can decide. But that's not my, you see, the person talking to you, look at my crutches here. I'm the person who is supposed to be against God, begrudge him and all that. But I'm a happy man. I've succeeded in every aspect of my life. And you see, a lot of people come to me and say, Nigerians are bad, man. I said, no, I've never met a bad Nigerian. Nobody has ever swindled me. Nobody have done me wayo before. I've never gotten a bad staff. I've never gotten a, my wife is a superwoman. My children are super. My relationships are perfect. So I don't know where you get your own. Like attracts like. So whatever is your own, you go. What's the point being made? The point is that your God is a good God. And you are a good person, and he created you and put a stamp on you. We are talking about God's favor. Please, when you go now, always close your eyes and say, my name is Dr. Kali Cussons. Good things happen to me. My name is Afolabi. Good things happen to me. Say it with smile and know that good things happen to you. The human person is a magnet. You know, you get what you desire. You get your expected end. If you start understanding this, you see how your life will start changing. People will always say, you know, you are lucky. You are lucky. I say, I'm lucky. Yes, I'm lucky. You don't understand. The only luck I have is that God has given me some revelation. He's not giving you. That's the only luck. My people perish for lack of knowledge. If you get enough dose of the information and solution regarding your situation, you get out of it. So, favor, why am I wasting time here? Everything I talk will make no meaning if you don't understand that God is on your side. And a lot of us don't understand that. Why must devil get this devil we talk about now? Who is bigger, God or devil? God. Then if he's bigger now, you know, every time we elevate devil above God. And do you know what? God will not change because of what happened to you. Yes, if one of the things you're gonna do is what we call flourishing. Flourishing is bliss. It's a state of acceptance of God's will. You hear that? Is it serendipity prayer or so? What do they call it? God help me to a serenity prayer or something. God help me to know what I to change what I can and accept what I cannot, and the wisdom to know the difference between the two and all those. So it doesn't mean that something may not happen. Yes, but if they happen, you know, everything you're going to achieve on earth is a function of energy. So if your energy is high, you're going to do what? You're going to do higher things. If your energy is low, you're going to do lower things. So that's why I always talk about this. Yes, your energy has to be very strong. Now, I've talked about that. Then the another thing I want to talk about is confidence, another tool. Yes, confidence. Confidence is so important. Confidence and courage. Confidence is so important that, and courage, they're so important that if you have everything on earth in terms of your capacity and you don't have confidence and courage, you amount to nothing. Let me show you. Confidence is the belief in your ability and the ability of your God. Courage is the vitalizing force of every of your gifts, every of your capacity, everything you know. If your hand is good, your leg is good, your eye is good, and your heart is not functioning, will you be alive? Most times people die. It's not because their legs are bad. It's not even because their brains are bad. It's because probably the heart is no more working. So you see why you are so knowledgeable, but you see, every time, every time, those who seem not to be very knowledgeable, they'll beat you to the game. So let me show you what happens. There's what we call job skill, and there's what we call sales skill, and there's what we call personal skill. Time will fail me to talk about that. But you see, job skill is ability to know, maybe you read engineering and you know something about it. Sales skill is ability to say something about that engineering. So job skill will always move in arithmetic progression to sales skill. So job skill will always plus sales skill. But they will always times what? They move in geometric progression when it comes to what? Personal skill. Personal skill is the vitalizing force for everything on earth. Personal skill. The same reason you have this pen, they have this phone, you have this camera, you are not doing much with it, and I do better with it. The same reason you have this phone, better one, and I write a book with my own, you've not written a book. Yes? It's the same reason. So what is personal skill? Personal skill are not taught in class. They're not taught in school. They're things you're going to observe and develop and read and get them. They include things like marketing skills. They include things like confidence and courage. They include things like killing fear or fear decimation. They include things like setting goals. They include things like emotional intelligence. They include things like ability to negotiate. They include things like deal closing ability. They include things like public speaking. They include things like how understanding how to make friends and influence people. They include things like listening skills. They include, communication, presentation, proposal writing, and all those. Those are what? Personal skills. Things that, they are used along what? Along sectors. They are transferable skills. A lot of people are engineers, doctors, lawyers, philosophers. They don't care about these skills. So let's do a practical example. So, Uncle, what's your name, sir? David. So David is a first class in school. Job skill, 10. He read engineering. So his certificate, perfect. He sent it in, they scored him 10. That's because they are marking with 1 to 10 is the scale. They invited him for an interview. So plus sales skill. He said it. They asked him questions about building or whatever he studied, and he said it well. Sales skill. He got it for that.
Self or still?
Sell. S-A-L-E. Sales skill. Now, they told him to go outside and wait. He waited for some time, came back, knocked on their door, and told them, please, I've been waiting for 2 hours. They said, okay, wait, he said, please, if this job is not available, you tell me. I've been waiting for 2 hours. Yeah, I have a place to go. And they said, okay, you can go. We'll call you back. Well, he may not even say something, but they're watching him through camera, the way he's behaving and acting and all those. And he doesn't have patience. So he's scored 2 in patience. So 10 plus 10 is what? 20 times 2. 40. So you see. So this other guy, during school, he was even a cultist. During school, he was a womanizer in the love garden and all those kind of. But he comes to class, he's intelligent a little, so he just get the thing, pass the exam, maybe got 2-2 or 2-1. Then when they invited him to this thing, he can fairly, he speak a little. They know he knows it with little training, so he scored 5. Plus, when they look at him, it's 2-2 or 2-1, he scored 5. Then during the interview, he said he didn't pass very well, but 5. So 5 plus 5 is what? 10. They kept him there for 20 hours. He was laughing. Because during the time they were in school, he used to wait for Gladys in the love garden.
For his medication.
You know, so he went for 5 hours. Gladys will call him and say, I'm no more coming. He said, babe, now, babe, why now? Can I come to your house? I said, no, 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 don't come to my house, my father. So, okay, get this right. We were the best student. We were the fellowship guys. So we were not like that in school. But you see, I knew these things. That was why I had to combine it in my head, even though I didn't have the opportunity to practicalize it while in school. But the point is that I knew it, so I had to read and be ahead. Otherwise, you will be a first class and then you'll be mumu in a lot of things. At the end of the day, people will be looking at you and your intelligence is not, your result is not showing your intelligence. Okay? Now, this guy will, because of all the disappointment he had, you know, even when he was a court member, he had waited for somebody to shoot the person for 10 hours. The person didn't appear. He had that the person had traveled to America. And, you know, things like that. They are wrong things. But you see, they have a way of making them develop some kind of skill that we should develop ourselves. We developed that skill. Like I read at least every day I was at least in the university. Every day of my life in university, I read at least 18 hours in 24 hours. I'm disabled. I don't go anywhere. I have no option. If I finish this school and come out and I'm not the best student, how do I get job? I need at least to be a best student first, so that at least wherever my distance go, I can be sure that the door can open and all those. You see, so but I had that patience with reading books. Even that became a disadvantage, because when you now meet people, you feel like you want them to go so you can go back to your book. If you don't know how to organize it, you have an issue. So this guy now, he scores 7 in personal skill. When he will walk in there and say, wow, good morning, co-debaters, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good. He flatters everyone because he has used that mouth to flatter girls and flatter men and flatter. So he flatters everybody. He flatters the boardroom. He flatters he comes to your office. He say, hey, he doesn't even know Chelsea. He doesn't know a player in Chelsea. He say, it's how you create Chelsea fan. Hey, we are going to sell Ronaldo and give to Messi. And he doesn't know anything. But he knows this thing that he works. So he scores 7. 5 plus 5 is what? 10. 10 times 7 is what? You see why the Dino Melayes of this world and all that. Dino, please, it's a joke. Okay. Okay, now. Auntie, what's it? Please, can you put it inside? Okay, so now you see why a lot of these people who are politicians and all those, you see, they know this thing. They know how humans are. They can always manipulate us and all those. So the point is, your ability to start understanding this thing is very important. So back to confidence and courage. Now, courage is that skill, that capacity inside of you that vitalizes every other capacity you have. That's courage. I will always joke with my friends and say that the greatest anointing is boldness. Boldness has magic in it. Boldness has power. Check when you were in school. The things you want to answer in class and they will clap for you. You will just be afraid to answer. Somebody will answer and they will clap for the person. They will, a lot of my friends will say, I don't want to, apply for shepherding scholarship or Mashirit or this one, that, and they've taken it all. I say, what kind of human being are you? How do you feel? How do you feel before they fail you? It's just, they are better than me. These people have connection. They have a lot of connection. Now, people in the north, people in the east, people in the south. I see, is something wrong with you? I say, I don't have anybody. I don't have anybody to connect me. I don't have anybody to connect me. I don't have anybody like the man where at the pool of is it Versailles? I don't have anybody. I said, how do you feel your uncles will feel when they hear this thing? Yes, but I'm telling the truth. I don't have anybody. I said, now, how old are you? 25, 35. Now, I said, you have cousins, you have nephews. And I said, when they talk now, when they talk with their friends, what would they say? They will say what? I don't have anybody. You see, what your uncles didn't achieve. You are here now not achieving it. Why don't you become somebody so that people will start having you? Is it not? You didn't have anybody. Why don't you become somebody so that people can start having you? That's the point. That's a very big point. You see, so have the courage to try out things. Now, failure is allowed. In my life, at this stage of my life, I don't do any other thing. I play games. Do you know what is game? What I mean by games? I don't do anything to succeed in it again because I must succeed. So I play games with it. I invite vice chancellor, come, I want to train you on something. I invite senators, I'll come, I want to train you on something. It's my own to invite you. It's your right to come. 750,000, 1,250,000, 250,000, and all that. If you have the money, if you don't come, I know you are a poor man. If you come, I know you are rich. So what's my own? So I play games. Why must you just like, oh, who am I to train? Who am I to do? Who am I to? What is your own? The Bible says he breathed into you, I think 2:9 Genesis, and man became what? A living soul. Jesus said, I think, is it Mark 10:34 or thereabout? He said, ye are gods, yeah? And it's, or he echoed what was, I think, in 82 or so of Psalm. Yes? Ye are gods. So have that courage, understand it. You are existing below your capacity. We are talking about purpose, remember. Now, the next one, the next tool, we are talking, these two are the tools of purposeful people. When we finish now, I'm trying to run so we can finish. So we can go the tools on how to discover your purpose. Okay, so the next tool we want to talk about is energy maximization. Energy. Man is energy. Everything we do here on earth is energy. Uncle Jay, welcome, Jude. Now, if you don't have enough energy, you will not actually do well in your life. And energy helps you with joy. And the Bible says, with joy, you will draw from the wells of salvation. Now, get it. If there is a well of salvation here, and you have a bucket, you cannot draw if you don't have joy, because joy is the rope that you add to that bucket to pull it out and all that. Do you see why I do everything humanly possible to be happy? I create a happy environment around me, my house, my office, my friendship, but everything. I do know if you, anything that I go into the university, I walk in first day, second day, third, 1 month, I'm not happy. I said I don't belong here anymore. I get out of that. Even it's just few years to my professorship, I get out. Life is too short for you to consistently do what you don't love. No, I do what I love. I live life at my terms. What's the point? The point is that's what God wished for us. It's not because anybody is extra or whatever. It's not true. We carry this life so heavily and are afraid. No. When will you try out the things you want to try out? When you die, there are a lot of things you want to try out. Even come on, go to Transcorp and sleep. What happens? You're having a Rigo. You sometimes, a lot of you here have not even gone to Transcorp to check even the room rates. Have not. You just pass there and you see where politicians eat our money. God forbid. You finish, your children will come and join. You have your back, and then where politicians. No, where is your God? Uncle Sani.
When I was coming,
Yes.
in the car, somebody was saying a politician just passed us with
Convoy.
yes. 3 Jeep and 1 big Mercedes and
Police and all that.
these people are eating our money. I said, no, they're not eating our money. I said, one day I'll be in this car.
Simple.
Convoy people.
Simple.
So, me, they are not at any point.
Simple.
So you can't imagine them driving the same car with me.
Simple.
They are our leaders, so they have to enjoy this.
100%.
So and then me, I can.
I believe with you 100%. Why? Why? You know, a lot of people will say, Nigerian politician, Nigeria. I say, where have you been in your life? I've been everywhere. Where have you been? As a student in Belgium, My professor used to take me home, and they were doing it was a mayor, and they were doing campaign for this. I would say when we are going, I would say, his name is I forgot his name. I will remember. I would tell him, oh, prof, I because they don't allow us to call them by prof. They say you call me by my name. So I'll say Rudy Knopf, Knoof is his name. So I say Rudy, I like this politician. Anytime I say it, his mood will change. He will not respond to me. One day it was almost few days to like this weekend, and I would say, oh, who will you vote for? He shouted at me. Say, stop this thing. If you want us to be friends, don't mention these politicians again. I felt like being God. Well, I just wanted to hit his head and let him become a Nigerian. So he can understand the difference. He was so angry. I said, what is the problem? He said, do you know that that time we don't pay tax in Nigeria, or civil servants who pay tax statutory. Companies don't even pay tax. You can maneuver this or that. You know, this guy said for his salary, if they pay him 1,000 euro, they take 450 euro. So and give him 550. That all this car they drive, all this thing is on my money. It was sounding like mosquito. You see, it was angry. That gave me the realization of. But before then, as a young boy, I was invited by UNESCO. That day was one of my worst days in life. I was invited by UNESCO. My friends in the same hotel with me go and they took, and that's why when people talk about trouble, I just tell them I have too much raw materials to manufacture skills. My friend went and took metro, €5. He will use it all through the week. But you know how this is that where the metro is far. You need to trek down, go through tube, go through this one, go through. Even if I go with wheelchair, I cannot. Then, but I use crutches because it will slip me. I can't even reach there. And there is no along, not in Nigeria. Nigeria now you can find along. Get the story because I didn't. A lot of people will say, why are you supporting politicians? Let me show why. I'm not supporting them, but I'm trying to say what you are saying. The only thing is that when you go there, you drive good car because that is their right. But you also do work so that the citizens can drive good car. Yeah? Then you will drive innocent because you want to encourage them to grow and employ more people. That's the only difference with you. But as per enjoying good life, you will enjoy good life. So now I've told you about Belgium. Now I'm talking about France. When I wanted to go to the center, the UN center, that is UNESCO center, I called them. The hotel called them. Let's call it Uber now. Call taxi people for me. Let's say they are coming from Kubwa. I didn't know. They are coming there. They put on their meter. By the time they got here, they got to the hotel. It was 80-something euro already. Euro was changing for 86 and 186 naira that day. I'm not going to where I'm going. Before it would take me to come down from upstairs and enter the car, it was hitting 100. By the time we got there, it was hitting 100 and I was moody. For the first time, I felt more in my early 20s. I felt the power of my disability. I said, God, what somebody is going to do €5 for 1 week is what I'm doing going for close to 150 euros. But you see, let me tell you how I solved that problem. We are talking about purpose. I do hope the people who are listening understand. When I got there, I sat down. It was like my mother by that time was about one of the most important person in my life. It was like I lost my mother. You see, I was there, very, very moody. One woman ran, she was very haggard. She came in there and came to the seat where I'm sitting. She sat down and she said, voulez-vous, je m'en voulez-vous. I said, Madam, I don't understand you. She said, no, I'm saying that these guys are wicked. They are weak. I was like, I had to, what is he saying? They're so wicked. Look at it. I said, what happened? She said she has a PhD. I think maybe I was doing my master's or something. She said, I have a PhD. And my husband has a PhD. We don't have work for 5 years now. For the first time I felt like being a god to knock her head and she find herself in Nigeria. I just was looking at the woman. I just say, this woman, my own problem now is how do I go back? How do I even go back now? I was thinking all through my stay there that day, I was thinking about this. I was moody, I was unhappy. When we finished around 4, 5, I said, let me, since this thing, they are counting it by mileage, let me see if I can trek some of these things with 2 crutches. Let me see how much I can trek. Then I can now invite them to that place I am. It will cover. You see, African man says. I trekked and trekked and trekked. I came to the Tower of Eiffel. You know, if you've been to France, you know, Paris. I went to the Tower of Eiffel. I saw one of my friends that said, snap me. Today is this guy snapped me and took the picture to Botswana. Up to today, I've not got that. It's progressing to 20 years or so. Or some, you know, going to 2 decades. After snapping that, I found out that I don't even know where I'm walking to. I don't know where. And to worsen it, I lived a little outskirts because staying at that city center would do what? The hotel would be too high. Okay, get why I'm telling all this story. Remember the woman in there who told me about the government and all those? The person who was the president, they, like this one now, they in prison or something. I can't remember. Now, when I entered the cab, I called cab and they entered the cab. I started going. I was begging the man to, you know, in Nigeria then, like I lived in Owerri then, there was no this lights, what do you call it, traffic light. So I was begging the man to beat traffic because as he stops in traffic, what happened? It is reading. I said, okay, go now, nobody in front of you, nobody. I said, no, je must do, voulez-vous, they ticket me, and I was reading the whole thing. As the thing is going, my temperature, like high pressure is going up. Do you know? By the time in one of the this thing, when the man was about moving, he couldn't move and he started looking for money. I said, okay, move this car now. What is that? I was raking. And the man said, sorry, I want to give money to beggar. I fainted. I saw one man who was coming to him, and he came and he gave him money. Say, sorry, beggar, I want to. I say, 2 cultural shock in one day. One, the woman that told me his country is nonsense with a PhD I'm still aspiring to get. And then another one that said there is beggar in the center. Just look at the Tower of Eiffel. Look at where we are. I say, I said, now, because my friends had already started telling me, Tali, don't come back, oh, you know, Jackpot, this one. I said, God forbid. This place where they have beggars. I said, I can't stay here. And when get why we are telling the story, this Biden, that everybody's here, Biden is 70-something. Biden named his companies. Now, from 30-something to 20-something, Biden has become a government person. Up till today, what has he worked? What has he done? So politicians are the same everywhere. The only thing is that our people, they are not corrupt. They are what? They are barefaced thieves. That's the only problem. They are just thieves. They are not corrupt. Corruption is that you take some and leave some. These people are thieves. So that's the only thing. So that's what you will not be. But if it's about driving good care and government taking care of the leader, that is our work. So take care of our leader. That's why we pay tax, so that they can use it to work. They've left their own and they're working for us. But we can't be like them. But back to our discussion. Do you know what? That night I couldn't sleep in my hotel room. I kept thinking about this and thinking about it. But in my normal way of infinite optionality, what did I say? I told myself, you are just starting life. Now, this is a rude shock to you. What does it teach you? You can decide that it will teach you to go cheap, or you decide if this guy that can make $5, if this guy, because his problem is $5, €5, he will only do effort of what? €5. But because your own is what? Going and coming is just 200 euro. What do? You put effort of what? 200 euro. Instead of doing what? Being depressed. What I should do, how can I make more money so that I can service my disability? Instead of, living below life distance just because of it. You see how I turned it? Instead of it depressing me, it became something that gave me fuel for the life I'm living today. Okay? So we are talking about, courage and confidence. And then we talked about energy maximization. That thing that happened to me that day demoralized me. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't read. I couldn't work. I couldn't work on my papers. I didn't even know what happened in the UN, building that day. I was just up. Please avoid anything. And that's why I'm encouraging my friends lately. Television, social media, use it for what you want to do, but don't go there and stay and keep reading and all that. It's not helping. Yeah, it is what? Everything in social media and television is depressing. So you've got to understand that. Then habituation. That's the next tool. The next tool is habituation. The people who are what? Who are purposeful, they habituate specific characteristics. For instance, they are readers, but they don't read because reading is something they just love. Yeah, that book I gave you, a lot of you guys haven't read. I think my friend Femi has been reading the Harvard one. Are you through with that one? Have you gone to the Science of Getting Rich? Okay, if not, okay.
I'm listening with this morning man book.
Okay, okay. So did he give you the read aloud?
No.
Okay, no, so you put it for him. Okay, so now the point becomes that immediately you know some characteristics or habits that will help you do what? Habituate it. Evangelist, is praying an easy thing? Isn't it easy? No, but you have to do what? Habituate it. Is exercise easy? No, but you have to do what? Habituate it. I tell you every time I read an average of 12 books every day. Is reading easy? No, you have to habituate it. Uncle Femi, this time you've started it and all those. It's not easy, but over time, even if you say every day, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening, or 30 minutes in the morning, whatever, it becomes a habit. My wife will always laugh, if I woke up in the morning, kiss her, and just, ask for one or two things, the next thing is book. Is automatic. It's not, because it has become a habit. Not because I love, everybody should love watching film and television now. I have money for Netflix. I will have money for every kind of thing. Yes, but the point is that if you don't habituate these things, what happens? Yeah, you are going to always have issues with the motivation to do that. So, what are the things you need to habituate? Courage can be habituated. Anything that makes you afraid, do what? You do it afraid. You see, I'm one person you cannot threaten. If you have a gun in my head and you tell me you want to shoot, I will say, shoot it so I can go to the next meeting I have. You can't. I was telling them yesterday, I'm unblackmailable. They may not understand. I'm unblackmailable. If I do something that requires me to go and do life imprisonment, you can't blackmail me to accept the blackmail and leave the life imprisonment. No, I will go for the life imprisonment. I'm unblackmailable. If it is rather it is firing squad, you want to blackmail me to avoid the firing squad. No, I'll go for the firing squad. I'm unblackmailable. You can't blackmail me. Whatever it is, sex step, this one, whatever, money, anything on earth, you can't. You have to make up your mind about these things in life first, and then you live your life accordingly. But a lot of us are just worst case scenario. What is worst case? Have you seen people eat something and swallow their finger? It has never happened. You saw something, an accident or whatever, adversity, and then they start shedding blood. Never. It has never happened. That is these things that are keeping us away from our purpose in life. Yeah? So you have to habituate some kind of character that will help you you have to plan it ahead so that you use it as a tool to throw to anything that comes your way. Yeah? Then, The last tool there before we go over to this one quickly is what I call principle. Purposeful people, they live by principle. I'll give you an example. They don't even have friends. Yeah, that you can say, oh, this friend is my friend. I can never, cut from him. Who told you? So let me tell you what principle is. You should have the basic fundamentals you live by, and immediately somebody or something goes away from that as a person of purpose, you run away. Uncle Femi, should I put this off?
No.
Okay. So now, a few days ago, few hours ago, Jesus asked them, who do people think I am? So they think you're one of the prophets, you think you're this one, you think you're. He said, okay, who do you think I am? They said what? Peter answered. He said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God, the Messiah. Jesus said, flesh and blood did not reveal this to you. Upon you, I will build my church. This one, you are the rock. If you read that place in Mark, few minutes later, he was telling them what? He was telling them, I will die and I will be buried. I will rise the third day. Peter, because he's a young person, 30 something, Peter is an older. Peter took him by the side and said, small boy, shut up. You talk rubbish sometimes. I know you are intelligent, but you talk rubbish. How can you be talking about death as if it's a children's thing? It won't be for you. God forbid. Jesus told him, my elder, I love you. Thank you. Is it what Jesus told him? What did he say told him? That is the worst way to address an elder. One, that's the worst way to address a colleague. What? Two, that's the worst way to address a human being. Three, what happened to Peter? Come, sit down. Sit down. Let's talk about it. I need to die. If I die, the Holy Spirit will come. And when the Holy Spirit will come, he will go into you and tell you what happened to explanation. What happened to explanation? Jesus knows, because Jesus had already started becoming jittery. Jesus knows that if he starts explaining to this guy will convince him out of this thing. Now, some of you like Femina is doing like this. Jesus had become jittery. Why did he come here on earth? To die, is he not? Yes. Then why did he go to pray and he starts saying, Father, if it is your will, let this cup pass? Why did you come here? Are you getting that? He has started becoming jittery. So he didn't want what? He didn't want to have that friend who will be a fear generator. So what did he do? He said, Satan, go behind me. A lot of you will be, the Satan will come, will romance you and say, oh, excuse me, Steph, because I don't like this thing you are doing, Satan. No. Simple. So God said, Satan, go behind me. It's not every time, even all these people, we whether it's in Islam, whether it's in Christianity, whether it's in Buddhism, whether it's in Taoism, whether it's in, anywhere. All these people that founded this religion, they are strong men. Sometimes we ascribe to them some kind of humility that, that never existed. They were strong men we are here to change systems. Say, be humble. This one, Jesus went and sent away people from there. Jesus said, woe to you, Pharisee, woe to you. And then somebody will tell you, be politically correct. No, this kind of word will not be used in woe to you. Lawyers, woe to you. Don't you read it in the Bible? Those are politically incorrect words. What are we saying? You need to understand how to live by principle. Purposeful people, they live by principle. Jesus did not want this guy. Our principle, what's the reason he brought them together? To die so that they can continue. Now, this is the principle. This is the only reason I brought you to. And now they say he shouldn't die again. You have broken that principle. He said, you are now what? The Satan I am seeing. See that one that tempted me inside the bush? You look like him right now. And Peter did what? Peter had to now respect himself and all those kind of things. So they live by principle. So if you got that, let me know If you have any question, we answer them. Yeah, if you're online and you have a question, please you can call the number I'm going to put down there, so that I can answer to that question. Then we go to the next one. I'm going to rush through it. I have about 20 tools for discovering, about 25 tools, but I'm going to maybe talk about maybe 5 or 10 because I want to end early and go home. So, if you have a question, please you ask. If you're online, you can call the number there, and then I will answer you. Good. So, Uncle Femi, you wanted to ask a question?
Bluetooth connected.
I have to be sure that you are done with the principles of living a purposeful life. Are you done with that?
Yes.
Going to something like that.
No. I'm done with tools for living a purposeful life. I want to go over to principles, or rather tools for discovering your purpose. That's what I want to go over to you. Okay. Auntie Faith, how are you? You came late again today. You want us to call you? Right. Auntie, how are you? What's the name? Huh? Alexandra. Okay. Okay. Welcome. What do you do? Oh, this copper. This coppers. Okay. So now, do you have any question? If you are online, you have a question, please can you call this number so that we are able to answer your question and then we move on. Please do that immediately if you have a question. Yeah, those online, please kindly share the program so that others can join. I give you 1 minute to try and do that. Yeah, those who are here, do you have any question? Okay, so if you don't have a question, tell me what you've picked from the 1 hour and we have spent here. Just one thing that you picked. Can you tell me? If nobody's answering, I will go seat to seat. I didn't say what you copied, Uncle Femi. I said what. The engineer.
I'm about 13 points there. I'm not sure it's 13 or
Yes, sir, it is.
It's 13.
Yes,
Good.
you are right, 100%.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Talking about principles, how do you, because some persons have interpersonal relationships with people.
Yeah.
See that kind of principle, knowing how to talk to people, you set a boundary for yourself. See that kind of principle you're talking about.
I wouldn't not understand what you mean by boundary, but what I mean by principle is when you know your purpose, you know the people that will be in your life. For instance, if you're going to Gwagwalada and somebody is going to Mararaba, if both of you enter the same car, you guys must quarrel along the way. Why? Because they are on the opposite end of the spectrum. So having principle means understanding where you are going in life, and now knowing all the things that will do what that will derail you from there. So being that you are living on this principle, anything that will derail you from that, it's not prescriptive. It's not something you say, oh, don't allow somebody to slap you. Don't allow somebody to send you text. Don't it's just about your mind, yourself will tell you this will not end well. But because you are getting money from it, or because the person is somebody you are afraid of, or because the person is religious, or because the person is elderly, or because the person has authority, or but you have to watch yourself because even the scripture said, "The meek shall inherit the earth." So humility is very important. But you see, you cannot do humility and enter grave. You must know that. And that's where conquering yourself is very important. So that whatever you do, you are not doing according to your emotions. You are doing according to proper logic, reasoning, and considerations. That's very important. Yeah.
I don't first point to the spectrum.
Yes, sir.
Do a little bit. The spectrum, the national and the spiritual, and I'm sure you have more points, but you just want to that's all.
Oh no, I mentioned 5 spectrum of wealth. I talked about spiritual wealth or wellness. I talked about health and
wellness. I talked about the third one was the professional, vocational, and okay. I talked about love and relationship. Yes, yes, yes. They were under that. They were under health and wellness. Uh, so I talked about professional, vocational, and passion. You must be wealthy in that. And I talked about yeah, but the last one I talked about was what? Time and money freedom. I thought these are spectrum of wealth. There are a lot of people just pursue one and leave the rest. Okay.
So, regarding to principle,
Yeah.
the acts,
Yeah.
my understanding is of ethical value
Yeah.
that one will not compromise at any
Point. Yeah.
You have to stick whatever whoever
Yeah.
is involved.
Yeah.
It's your life
Yes.
that you have already programmed that is the way you want,
Yeah.
and nothing will make you go back.
Simple and short. Yeah. 100%. Okay. So, quickly, let me know what you've picked. Yeah. It's very important. Those who are inside the class. My friend Rita said, I need to work on my personal skills. Yeah. Thank you, Rita. Yeah. Somebody tell me what you've
So,
picked.
this confidence, I begin to understand that confidence and courage is what we are lacking. You know, somebody we used to undermine the capacity, and we don't have the intention.
Yeah.
Just like you said, God has not limited us on certain things.
Yeah.
And I imagine you see other people saying, or most especially in North, will start doing something, and you see guidance from somebody, and you are telling, no, don't do this, so because this and that
Yeah.
failed, this and
Yes.
that. But the thing is that other people are still doing that.
Simple.
Why is it they are doing it?
Wonderful.
This is something. This is something that you should ask yourself, because I certain things that you cannot be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
Somebody must be above you, and you must be above somebody.
Simple.
So you need to build confidence in yourself and have courage
To start.
fight the hardest battle of yourself.
Wonderful.
Achieve your success. Because like someone says, problems are part of life.
Yeah.
So you must not get away with them. That suffering is the essence of success.
100%.
So you should believe that whatever you want to do in life, you must just come.
That's
So
true.
to overcome the problem, what make you great? So I think I really
Got something there.
understand this courage and confidence.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay. Let's move on. Auntie, what's your name? Gift. Gift what? Gift. Oh, Gift Saham. So what have you picked since you came in?
Understand this area you're talking about attitude. Attitude is bigger than the problem itself.
Yeah.
I don't understand that the attitude you portray towards the problem around matters a lot.
100%.
If you do not act well,
Yeah.
you can remain in that situation.
100%.
And the problem will still be there.
Yeah.
But when you act well, you can come out of it.
100%. Thank you, ma'am. The only reason you repeat the exam is what? You failed it. It's the only reason. That's why a lot of us, year in, year out, we are not progressing. Why? We failed it this year. God will say, repeat it next year. We failed it. God forbid that we repeat the exam 2022. Because if you pass the exam, you do what? You go to the next class. That's how life is. But when you say, they say, oh, it's Buhari, it's but look around you. People are building houses. They're not thieves. They are not thieves. If you're a thief, don't categorize. I'm not a thief. Don't categorize everybody as a thief. Yes?
So, and addition to attitude, I think that is what we are mostly like the area that we're supposed to amend and focus on. You know, attitude, like what somebody said, there is a positive and negative. You know, the negative aspect of attitude, somebody will just develop the habit that I can't do this. while the positive side will tell you, yes, you can do it.
100%.
And the negative side of it used to say, okay, um, they dwell in problems, while the other side always look for the solution to the
Yeah.
problem. And the negative always see fault in others. But the positive side sees good in others. So
Simple.
when you don't condemn other people, so other people don't condemn you. But when you condemn other people by their actions, certainly when you want to do your own, people will not do you. So the attitude needs to be changed to positive direction. So it's the attitude that needs to be very all the time.
Thank
The way
you.
we talk to people, the way we relate that.
The way we see things.
The way we see
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wonderful. So, very quickly, let me summarize and then we go to the next thing. Number one, the issue of attitude. Attitude is something that attracts, what you get in life. Outcome can only be a function of your perspective to the thing. Sometimes they shoot a gun and somebody will say, um, or we hear a noise and somebody will say, this is a gun, and will start running and wound himself. And they shoot a gun, they do some, there's a noise and somebody will say, this is tire. Like me now, I don't think I can differentiate between tire busting and gun. Now, but if you were a court member, David, were you a court member? Yes, you were not. Why are you doing like this? If you were not, now you would just say, no, I'm not. But you are doing, I'm not. So, in the university, I'm a lecturer. So I used to ask my students, the one, who are in court, I used to bring them and say, what do people really do during the initiation? Some will tell me, it varies from court to court. Some of them will tell me they will bring gun to their ear like this and shoot it. So you see what that means? What it means is if they are shooting somewhere here behind faith, the gun will be sounding far from this person because he has been shot at this range. And that is why they are shooting here and you are running and the guy is still doing gra because the gun is still sounding far. And that's why when they shoot, he will say, this is Okamet, this is revolver, this is AK-47, this is AK-50, this is and all those. But you, man, you don't even know what is what. Okay? So in understanding, attitude, when you pass through some things, it helps you to also build some kind of, attitude. So don't always run away from problems. Don't always run away from difficulties. Don't always know that things will get. There's nothing you will do and it goes straight and sometimes you are going to encounter some little things that will delay you a little. Know it as the process. Love the process. Enjoy it. The second thing I wanted to talk about is about criticism. Now, it will lead me to the third thing. Then I go to rounding off with the tools I wanted to discuss. When you look at critics, I define critics as those who have not done and they don't want you to do. Yes, those who have not done and they're discouraging you. Oh, you can't do it. Oh, this thing is hard. Oh. If it's that easy, don't you think everybody should be doing it? They've not done and they don't want you to do. Please don't agree with them. And it leads also the third thing I wanted to talk about, which is what? Perfectionism. I always say that perfectionism is what? An inversion of what? Inferiority complex. A lot of people say, I want everything perfect. I want this one. Oh, it's not true. It's not perfectionism. If you are looking for perfection, if perfectionism is your quality, what happens? You will do. Perfectionism by its nature say do things and then they become perfect. But because you are inferior, you want everything to be nice because you don't want to fail. You are afraid. Yes. So always understand this factor. So let's go to
Sorry, sir.
yeah.
This is a critic,
Yes.
I think it's allowed. Even in normal work, when you bring up a work, maybe a framework or something, because stakeholders come and critique it, come and validate it, so to say. So criticism is allowed.
No, that I didn't.
Or you could say positive criticism.
I didn't talk about critiquing your work. I talked about critics. I talked about like people who say, "Look at him, he will fail." We'll see, oh, he didn't do it well. He was always doing this and that and that. Yeah, I'm talking about those kind of people. If it's about professional critique and all that, well, if they even paid for that, yes, I don't critique people. I don't do criticism. Why? I'm paid to talk. My 1 hour is 10,000 US dollars. So why should I come and start criticizing you when there's something is what I'm using in my mentorship for a lot of people. So we are talking about those kind of critics who are destructively critical of you. We're not talking about those who are advising or those who want you to be nice. We're talking about those who are making you not to do. Yeah. Now, but let's talk about some tools. I'm going to just maybe see, because I want to end by 6. I'm going to see the little I can do about the tools. Yeah, I have a lot of them, but I'm going to talk about few. Now, so I'm talking about tools for discovering your purpose. Tools for discovering your purpose. Yeah, one of my friends, Brian, I owed quite a lot of the tools to him. He distilled them, into good um, some good capsules. So the first tool we're going to consider is the tool of what's your reason for waking up. We're talking about tools for discovering your purpose. So do something like card. When we say card, is like cut something, like even if it's a white piece, into card size, and then you're going to be writing every morning. Just try it and write your reason for waking up. Yeah, that's you woke up today and you want to go out. What's your reason for going out? What's the reason? Now, this thing we call purpose, it's been bastardized because a lot of people say, oh, purpose, purpose. You need to sit down and work on it and look for it every day of your life. If you know where I am in my life now, I don't have need for a lot of things. But you see, I find out that if I don't do these things I do now, like this thing I'm doing since yesterday to that, if I don't do it, it's a matter of, you give me another 3 months, I'll start going down. Why? Because I'll find out that my happiness will start dropping and my energy level will drop. And because it's dropping, I won't do the things that give me money. So if you've not found out that the reason for your waking up, I wake up to go to work so I can feed my family, that's stupid. That's stupid reason. Yes, because a lot of people your age those are no more their problems. Am I saying feeding your family is wrong? No, that's not what I'm saying. But you see, if it's just to wake up and go to work and get salary and feed your family, yeah, you are most men most miserable. Look deeper and find out why do you wake up? What makes you wake up in the morning energetic? If you are going to your office and the reason you are going is you want to solve problems today, a lot of your colleagues, they don't do work as a civil servant. They don't. They come there, they're just looking for where money can come out. I don't know if you've gone to civil, like local government, they will pride themselves. Why I love our job. They're not paying you, but why I love our job is because you can come 11 by 1, you are gone. Especially when you come and the chairman is not there. I will say, amen. Clap for yourself. Do you know why? If you park your car for 3 months, what do you think will happen? It will decay. Then you will park this thing. You will park it for 35 years. And then you retire. And then you want to be a champion. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible. Yes? So the point is, please, whether they give you work or they find work and do. If you're a civil servant, find work. As far as it's not against civil service rule, you are not overstepping find even the one your colleague should do that he or she is running away. Do it. What are you doing? When you are doing it, I was telling my son yesterday, because he's naturally intelligent. And because he's naturally intelligent, he thinks that reading is unnecessary. I tell him, we will never be friends until you understand that there is no substitution to reading. You cannot just tell me because teacher teaches you understand it. What are you reading? I say, go and take that book, read it from beginning to the end. You are in second semester, read the third semester something. I told him, reading is like what? Gymming the brain. You know, gym. When you do gym, reading is like exercising the brain. As you are gymming the brain, what happens? You know, the brain will start getting stronger, 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 and all those. So when it is about salary, you don't have a purpose for waking up. Oh. Discover something God has called you here on earth to do. Discover your reason. Go be mommy. Who do you teach? Um, Primary, secondary, university, KD, like in the kindergarten. Wonderful.
4 years.
Yes. So you know, for people like this, sometimes waking up is beautiful because you are going to go there because they are what blank slates. Anything you write, it stays. Anything you write, it stays. You can go there and you keep writing on them moving. All the people you teach, when they go to university, they make first class. Great, you know, great reason for waking up. But there's a problem about that reason, which I encourage my mentees. The problem is you may fall in love too much with what? With the reason, then you are not thinking about yourself. Why? Because you know your salary, if it's not your school, your salary and all those, you know, as you are growing older, it may not cater for that. So what happens with developing turn children who don't understand, turn them very fast into people who can understand? What about developing um, instant magnetic pedagogical method? Is your own, is your language. Nobody will come and tell you, oh, there's nothing like that. You develop to university to become a best student. It just happened for 2 weeks. If you go to the website where we wrote it, it's just like, what did I do to be a best student consistently all my life? Yes, those are the things I've capsulized them. And then I bring in the children here for 2 weeks and inject them with it. What happens? They go out and I have given you one. Show a child a vision, the child will forget the television. It's simple. I'm paid so much money. These people that go and drink something, they enter their brain and they are not in class, they run away from school. Their parents bring them here, paid me $20,000, $10,000. Give me a week too. I just put them right. Why? And they ask me, what did you do? I said, it's not your job, it's my job. So, you know, while you are still loving what you are doing, develop a higher version of it. It's one worst person on earth. Why? The only reason people are poor, tell me about Buhari, tell me about anybody, it's your business. But the only major reason people are poor is that the value they give out is not enough, yeah, to make them rich. If you give it over time, people seek you out. So you have a book. Mommy, have you written books? Wonderful. So you've been doing this for 1 year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years. So there are So that's what happens with a lot of us. Okay, good. Now, give me a second to make sure that they are they are with us. Okay. So now, understanding that don't fall too much in love with the purpose that you forget yourself is very important. So, what's your reason for getting up in the morning? That's one question you ask as a tool for what? For discovering your purpose. David, what's your reason for waking up in the morning? What makes you wake up? What is that thing you wake up, you feel like, wow, if I could do this, if I could accomplish this on earth, I would be happy. Yes? You can't remember now.
Number one vision I have in life is to please God.
So please God.
So to please God is to make sure to make people get better.
Wonderful.
Serving God.
Wonderful. So pleasing God involves what? Involves living a life that's pleasing to Him, doing a work that's pleasing to Him, having a relationship that's pleasing to Him, and all those. So it covers quite a lot. Yeah. So I concur. So if you wake up and it's about pleasing God, yes, everything you do must have a sign of excellence. Your Father is an excellent God. If you read the book of Daniel, I think chapter 6, the Bible recorded that what? There were three princes, there were 120 governors, and then there are three presidents. And then out of these three presidents who are going to take charge of the 120 governors or whatever, this guy was chosen to be among all of them, Daniel. Why? Because the spirit of excellence was found in him. But you see, some of us who think we love God and what we do doesn't show excellence. So the importance of loving God is showing for that excellence in everything you do. And if the God you serve says what? My people die for or perish for lack of wisdom. Yeah, lack of knowledge. That means, you must pursue knowledge. Yes. A lot of us don't read even our holy books. We wait for the imam or the pastor or the daddy GO, mommy GO to read and interpret for us. And the only reason his mommy GO is the Bible. The only thing is that daddy GO is the Bible. And if this Bible is not written in Greek and Aramaic and all this, why don't you read it and understand it? My kids, when we are today, when we are doing our fellowship this morning, I told them, we are reading the Beatitude, and I told them something. I told them, okay, they asked me the question, blessed are the poor in spirit, for they shall see God. Yes, yeah, for they shall see God. So I was trying to explain it to them, and I told them that being poor in spirit is ability to understand that you have to approach God consistently from the perspective of a child. So I told my boy, I said, remove your leg the way it is. It's not nice. He removed it and put it another way. I said, did he argue with me? They said no. I said, but there was nothing wrong with the way he was putting his leg. But because he's a child, well, he agrees to everything. Yes. So those who feel they are poor in spirit are always looking unto God. Yes. They don't see themselves as men of God, big men of God. I said, I prefer to be a child of God than to be a man of God and all those. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But you're always understanding that the Bible said those who worship him as children. Is it true? He said the kingdom of God belongs to, when you are a man of God, remember, I'm not talking about pastors or what. When you feel that you've known God, what happens? Yes, you now become met with God. And I went to First King chapter 13, 11 to 25, and I read the old prophet and the young prophet. Yes. The young prophet was deceived by the old prophet, and it was through the old prophet that the revelation comes. You will go and die and all this kind of. So I told them, anything I tell you as your father regarding the scripture, I've trained you in school, I've paid school fees. Don't believe me. Don't believe anything I tell you. As far as it concerns the scripture, never believe me. The same way, don't believe your pastor, don't believe your GO, don't believe anybody. Go back and do what? Read it yourself. Go and read it and find out what God said about it. I told them, even if I give you prophecy today, don't do what? Say, thank you, sir, for the prophecy. Let me go back and do what? And confirm from God. You go back and confirm from God. We're talking about what? Pleasing God, so that we don't do it ignorantly and we understand all the facets of that. Okay, if you've got that, let's move on by looking at the second tool for discovering your purpose. Okay, so I'm going to end in a few minutes. So unfortunate, the conference is ending today, and I have about 25 tools, and I'm going to just tell about 2 or 3. It's because of people like Faith who came late. Nonsense. You are the only reason I wasn't able to finish these 2. No, I'm not staying long today. It's supposed to end 7, but I have a program starting tomorrow, so I need to go. Okay, so now that's what we call the elements. Yeah. It was developed by one guy, I'm forgetting his name. Now, draw a circle that has, please, draw a circle that has an intersection. Like Venn. Okay, look at this. Oh, let me remove my. Sorry, let me remove my distance so you're able to see what I have. So look at this. Draw a circle like this, please. Yes. So when you draw two circles that intersect, and then at that place they intersect, you write elements. Okay, elements. Uncle Philip, have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay, you write element. Okay. Now at the left side, write what you love. Look at it. At the left side, write what you love. Okay, this one, what you love. At the other side, write what's your talent, what you love, and what you're talent. We're going to use faith as a guinea pig, laboratory pig. Yeah. So at the left side is what? No, at the left side, what you love. At the right side, what's your talent? At the center is what? The element. Now, we are talking about how to discover what? Your purpose. Okay? So now look at it. What do you love? Let's assume money is not involved. I watched a skit by this guy, this Emanuela guy, what's his name? Maganja. They were asking him, what's your purpose on earth? He said, money. I said, what do you love doing apart from money? He said, money. He said, okay, remove money. What will you want to do? And you see, is this money that you removed? Oh my God. Is this money? That's my purpose on earth, money. That's what he said. Okay, so what do you love doing? With what my friend David is saying, yeah, probably, he has a calling. He wants to please God. Everybody wants to please God, but his own seems to be, higher than normal. You see, so there are people who are called into ministry. There are some of us who are supposed to come and listen to them. You see. So what do you love doing? You love reading. Myself, what do I love doing? I love reading. I love writing. I love teaching. I love turning people's ideas into results. I love showing people all the possible mental shortcuts to being successful. Yes, I love confronting and solving problems. So, what do you love doing? Evangelist, what do you love doing?
Well, naturally, me, I discovered that I love solving problems.
Love solving
I love
problems.
adding value to people. I love ministering the word of God and life to people.
Life to people.
Naturally.
Whether you are paid or not, you would have. So that's what you love doing. Now, what's your talent? You know, some people may love you in my mentorship and coaching table and counseling. Say, I love speaking, but I don't know how to do it. Whenever I see people on television, I love to do like this thing you do. I love it, but I don't know how to do it. You see, he loves it, but he doesn't have what the talent. This thing can the skill can be developed anyways. Yeah. So, what's your talent? What is that thing you do so easily? Are you somebody that is always ashamed? You may be somebody that is always timid, but immediately it is time to talk, you don't even know what comes over you. You talk. Like if you ask me whether it is my boldness that made me start talking, or how do I feel when I'm invited to talk, I don't know what I feel. I don't even feel anything because I don't consider myself somebody who is intelligent or somebody who is bold or so. I don't consider myself that. But somehow I'm a doer. When it is anything, I don't overthink it. I'll just do that. So there are things that are so natural to you, you can't even explain how and why you do that. You just so natural. Please, what we are doing now is very serious. Think deeper. Look into your life. Find what are some of those things. Yes, you are in your element, mommy. When they say they need to, you need to teach a child something, and that child, and you are tired, or you are sick, or you are, um, if it is maybe go out to a party, and then it is you are tired, or you are a little sick, is it more difficult to you at that point to go, you're having headache, to go out to party? But if it's go out to teach a child, you go out to teach a child. Which one is always easier for you? Teach a child. Even though when you go to party, you clear your head, you're going to be happier, it's joyous. But teaching a child, you don't know why. And most times the money doesn't matter as much. You don't even see it. You don't know. And that's why sometimes you ask yourself, am I stupid? Because some people that should know better, when you finish your work, they start pricing or start reneging on their this thing. And even the next time you want to be like hard-hearted, you find yourself again when you see the child, you melt. Okay? Please, are you getting my point? Do you know why a lot of people are not successful? This thing we are doing now is what? Is stupidity unto them. That is why I tell people the poor will always be with you. I repeat what Jesus said. Why? What makes for success is so simple, but it is not easy. And I will always ask, how many of you, Auntie Alexandra, if you have a younger sister now who is going to university, I say, Auntie, teach me how to make a first class. I hope you know what you can tell her to make a first class. Huh? Read your book. What I mean is that you can cancel her and she will go and make a first class. And the question is, did you make a first class? Please get the point I'm making. It is not because we don't know these things. They are so simple, but they are not easy. Read your book is what? It is easier said than done. But read your book is something that is not in the hand of God. It is not in the hand of the lecturer. It's not in the hand of demon. It is in our hands. Why can't we read our book and make a first class? Are you getting the point? Alexander, I'm not saying that you are Olodo, even when I know say that. Sorry, I mean that I'm saying I know you are intelligent. What I mean is that. So you get the point now. Yes, you want to say something, sir?
I think using this number one tool.
Yes, sir.
Fulfill our purpose.
Yes.
To make our children make first class like
yes.
Because immediately your thought came to my mind is to always because today now I'm going to send it to them. What every morning ask yourself.
Simple.
The reason for waking up today.
You see why we call it a tool.
And write it down.
That's why we call it a tool. Yes, sir.
Work towards it.
Again, I suppose school girl
Yeah.
was asking the former president of India what is the way forward for our young generation to succeed in life?
Yeah.
And he said he will give her 4 tips for the young generation to succeed. And the first thing that he said, that they should always tell themselves in the morning when they wake up.
They should also always
Tell themselves
okay.
that I am great.
Okay, when they wake up in the morning, they say,
Yes,
I am great.
I am great and I stand to achieve great. Then I will have a great end. That nobody is better than me. I will try my best. That secondly, you have to continuously acquire knowledge.
Continuously acquire knowledge. After assuring yourself that you are great.
Yes. That thirdly, you have to do hard work.
You have to face it. Pay the price. Do hard work.
Yes. And the fourth thing is to persevere.
Persevere. Don't give up. Have infinite optionality. Thank you very much. You know, this guy now is speaking like a philosopher. You must have noticed. What happened? What changed him? When did you come for program here?
8th of November last year.
He doesn't forget the date. That was when he got this thing. You see, yes, environment. I packed.
Can you repeat those things?
We have to have a conference where he will teach. Oh dear. Okay, repeat it. I am great.
I am great.
Yeah.
And I stand to achieve great. And I will have a great end.
Yeah. That's number one.
Yes.
Number two.
Continuously acquire knowledge.
Continuously acquire knowledge. Yeah.
And thirdly is hard work.
Third, work hard.
Work hard.
And fourth,
And so,
persevere.
persevere.
Persevere. So he came here, and something happened. I parked my car. I was standing out. I was, waiting for my staff to come and pick this thing from there. He came out to spit out and look around and answer a call outside there, and he saw me. I know he came for training. Of course, I deal with his permanent secretary, minister, and director, not him. He didn't greet me. I greeted him, and then he answered because he was busy with his call. So when they all gathered here, how many were you? We were up to 36. And I came and I climbed up and I looked at him. I saw how he was looking at me. Saying, this damn group he thought. Okay, I'm saying he later confessed in the class on the last day. So when he came, I started teaching, and it was like, wow, are you kidding me? Now, but what happened is that this guy, I offered him my $10,000 mentorship for free since 8th of that November. I've been his mentor. When he was answering everything, he was making effort. He just said, wow, this guy needs to be mentored. And I'm so proud of him. I gave him, the first book I gave him, the book gave him a little difficulty, Think and Grow Rich, and I gave him time to finish it. He finished it. I gave him another one, he finished it. I gave him Virginity, what is it? Losing My Virginity by Richard Branson. That's his book. People like Faith, they're laughing. Faith is a business book. I don't like to have bad people in my class. So that one gave him trouble because reading it, he was asking me too much questions. And that was how this guy, has been doing, developing since then. When he talks now, you think he should come and sit here and talk because everything he says makes meaning and all those. My fear was, because he didn't pay for it, will he understand it? But I'm so glad. He came somewhere from where now? From Kefi now. From Kefi. I mandated him to be here. Yeah, when I felt he came. Yesterday we finished around 7. He left. Well, even when he left, when he got to in the night, he started asking me a lot of questions. I started answering. We started talking that night. Very, this guy, nobody will tell you he cannot last more than 24 more months or 36 more months in the civil service. It's impossible. You cannot be moving here and you stand still here. It's impossible. Nobody can hold you down. If you move here, your leg will move. Everything will move. And as he keep acquiring this knowledge now, because the first stage I want to take him through is changing his attitude, and I've seen it has changed. Now I will now start giving him skills, digital marketing, wealth creation skills, videography and video editing, all those. I'll start giving him skill one by one. Now I'm not introducing him to wealth creation opportunity, whether in Fiverr, Upwork. He will sit in his house in the evening, and for the hours he have from 4 to or 5, he will now do what? He will now do work for white people, and they pay him. And by the time his salary online hits about $3,000, what will he be doing in civil service? You see, but a lot of people came here too, like him. Doc, you are wonderful. Doc, you are wonderful. Their life is still the same. A lot of them, when they chat me, I don't even chat back because I'm an investor. I'm spending $10,000 on this guy. So, and you are chatting me, but what am I chatting with you? My time has been bought. So you must understand, your vision on it. That was why immediately when he saw who I am, he wanted to tap into that. So understanding what you love and understanding what's your talent, that's, intersection is what we call what? That's what we call element. Element is what brings you, like, have you seen people say he's in his element? Yeah. When you teach mommy, you're always in your element. You lose consciousness of time. You don't even know, you go late to any other engagement. You lose your personality. You are not you don't seek for respect again. You don't even know, you have issues with eating. If they bring food, you say keep it, and you are in your element. So can you imagine if you build your school? I don't know if it's your school now, but can you imagine if you build your school? Can you imagine if you build even crèche to KD, and that's only when they finish that they can go anywhere? The communists and communism, the communists said, give me a child until he sees. They will program the child. Everything the child will be, they have programmed the child. They give you back. That child will not remain the same. They've written everything. They programmed that child. Yes? So can you imagine if you have a school and this woman is a specialist in crèche to KD? Any child you give this woman, why do they pay a GP, general practitioner, less than they pay a specialist? Because he has specialized in one thing. You can start it in your parlor. You can start it around your house. You can start it, So I want today that you've been here, let it change you. We have a program called EDCC, Entrepreneurship Development Certificate Program. Yeah, I encourage my friend, you register for that so you can understand how to transmogrify these talents into what? Into business. What does that mean? It doesn't mean that you are becoming you're serving mammon. It means that when you are able to make more money, what happens? You serve more people. Is it true? Can you imagine you're able to come and buy this place now, the whole of this building? What happens? You can serve more people. Half of it, the down place could be for indigent students. The up for people middle class. The up are for this one and this one. They pay what you use to service these people. But if you don't have money, you cannot do that. Money is a tool for good on earth. That's what even the scripture says. Is it 10:19? It says that what? Money answereth all things. So you need to be wealthy. You need to be rich. Yes. So if you've got that, let's round off by talking about the third tool. The third tool, you're going to still draw something. Please try and draw. Draw it this way now, like 3. We are looking at tools. Draw like 3. Okay, are you saying that? Yeah, draw it, and then I'll tell you what will be in them. Like just 3 circles, but 3 circles outside each other, touching each other. Yeah, just 3 circles. Okay, if you've drawn it, yeah. Okay, maybe I'll just give in about 16 more minutes to see if I can treat one or more tools. Now, if you draw it, we call it the Hedgehog Concept. Hedge, Hedgehog. Hedgehog. HOG, that is Hedgehog Concept. It is developed by Professor Jim Collins. He's the person that wrote Built to Last and Good to Great. He's a professor at Stanford University. Alexandra, you want to go? Okay. First, you want to go? Okay. So now, Hedgehog Concept. We're talking about tools for what? For discovering your purpose. So on top of that circle, that is the one at the top. Look at it. The one at the top. Okay. You are going to write, what are you great at? Uncle Femi, are you getting it? This one, the one at the top. Yeah. You are going to write, what are you great at?
Middle of that or the intersection.
No, on it.
The upper circle.
The upper circle.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't want the concept. This is the whole circle that is there. Or minus the intersections.
I didn't get you.
Those ones that are meeting inside part of
Yes.
it. They're not part of it.
No, we have not gone.
We've not gone there now. We are, if you draw the three circles, the one on top, you write, what are you great at? The one at the left, you write, what do you love doing? You see, it's almost like what we talked about. On the top, what are you great at? The one by the left, what do you love doing? Now, the one by the right, very important. What does the world need? What does the world need? Uncle Femi, did you get it?
Sorry, come again.
Okay. The one at the top, what are you great at? The one at the left,
Yes.
what do you love doing? The one at the right, what does the world need? Now, it's very important. This is so important, and that's why you see a lot of young people who are pursuing passion, they don't amount to too much, because you see, they will say, if I see money, like I was telling Auntie Glad yesterday, if I see money, I tell them prophetically, you will never see any money. Go and make money. You can't just say, if I see money. Did your father keep any money on the road? Which money do you want to see? There's nothing like if I see money. The point is that you must make the money. And that's why I said I will not. If my child wants to read linguistics, I will allow the child. If the child wants to read swipology, I will allow the child. But you see what I want? If the child wants to volunteer in an NGO, I will allow the child. But you see, I won't allow my child to do an NGO work in his early life. I don't want you to have that mentality of entitlement, that people must bring money, then you spend it on problems. No. Go and make money and have a foundation. Don't tell me they have not given us grant. If people know what people are suffering in this state, if people know what the big men will bring money, so we can go and solve this problem. Did they break your own hand? Why can't you go and make the money? Please get it right. I'm not against NGO. We have one. I'm not against foundation. We have one. But we sponsor them. A particular percentage of income I make go to our NGO and go to our foundation. So, why it is very important that you understand this hedgehog concept is it ties in your purpose with entrepreneurship, with making the money. So now, what do you love doing? We talked about it earlier. That element we talked about was developed by Ken Robinson. Mommy, I will try to send you something on him. Ken Robinson is one of the most watched TED Talk on earth. I think it should have may have been reaching 100 million or something. I've not checked for maybe more than 3 years. I was in Europe, and one of our lecturers introduced him to his TED Talk. It changed my life, because all the things he was saying were the things I was thinking about. I was thinking I would do in education, because he talked about child development in that particular TED Talk. So I'll send it to you so that you can read it. You can think about it. You can work on it. And But he's the person who developed that one, the element we talked about. Now, the person that developed this is Jim Collins. So, in order to understand your purpose, what do you love doing? There is no way you can succeed in what you don't love doing. You can succeed temporarily. That is why some people work in a work. Look at this. A lot of bankers, they would die in such a way that, look at the people who do this kind of thing I do. You see, they tend to live longer. People who do some kind of things because they are doing what they love. So there's no pressure. Uncle Femi, if you have a banker, your age mate who was your classmate, you've not seen for the past 35 years or 25 years or whatever, you left school. Any day, this guy, you go to Lagos or you go to Kwara, and this guy is coming to see you as a bank manager, as executive director. He will come with a form. He has not seen you for 35 years. He will come with what? A form, and say, open account for me. Why? They are under pressure. If you give them 1 billion and they get the 1 billion, what happens? 1 billion becomes the basic minimum. The target increases. So it's not because you got your target that you will relax. No. If you get your target, the target becomes the base. So the person who is doing this kind of work, what do you think? Pressure. This my friend, they said they die of this one, that one. He's a banker. I'm not saying there's something wrong with banking work. All my friends who are bankers, they are under too. I say, how can you leave this job? You are dying. Every day you are under pressure. You turn 40, you turn 35, you turn 25. You can never turn it again. You have finished that one. You were a banker, yeah? Voluntary retirement.
Seriously. I don't know what we are. I'm sorry to.
No problem, sir.
What we are doing then, and I was not feeling okay. We have a first bank.
Yeah.
We have a clinic down there.
Yeah.
A full doctor.
Yes.
All to check my
Blood pressure.
And they said, Mr. Fulani, in fact, as he was talking to me, he has to call
an ambulance.
Yes, the ambulance. That he should take me home, and it's giving me 5 days not to come to work. And it asked me, what are you thinking of? And that was the time we were doing Oracle HRMS. I was the nationwide
coordinator,
chairman of the committee. First, the team almost cost me my job because there were interest.
Yeah.
One of the executive directors was interested in these people that were doing our IPPIs.
Yeah.
So, but a thorough analysis shows that they cannot meet up with first bank standards.
Yeah.
What saved me was we have to use international rating organization.
Yeah.
Sanusi was an executive director, the former.
Yeah, CBN. Yeah.
So it was our presentation, God and him that saved us. And when it's at meeting, if you start talking to your people, just know that you are passed. So what happened? So at the end, one of the directors said, heads will roll. Why are you not choosing Nigerian company? Because we owe it a duty as part of our contribution.
Yeah, to national district.
Well, I look at my committee member, no more inputs, and I don't say myself, well, the only last thing I want to say
before they track you.
Yes, that this is what we did.
Yeah.
We brought out the international rating.
Yes, to show.
When Sanusi stood up and started singing,
everybody
talks, it's like
yes, yeah, no,
he has demonstrated, he has practiced,
yeah,
all those things he will say. In fact, that was what goes. So this thing happened at 150.
You see.
And doctor said, just go home and don't think of this work for the next 1 or 2 weeks.
You see.
So I started planning. So banking.
You see, so thank God you are here to confirm it. I don't have anything against banking. It's just that I'm just using this as an example for this. Yeah, I don't want to say life is not all about money because poor people will think, I'm just giving a little. No, life is about flourishing. Life is about bliss. Life is about, happiness that transcend just the mundane. Yes. And I tell you, with that, you make a lot of money. So what this guy is trying to do is what? What do you love doing? We've talked about it. What are you great at? Yes. What are you great at? From what we say, my mom is great at what? At teaching. And she has specialized. She says she teaches what?
Oh, yes.
KT. She doesn't want to say, I teach this one, that one. You see, me, I teach vice chancellors, rectors, provosts, professors, directors, PAMSEC, and all those. Mom is not claiming, doesn't want to drag that with me. She said, no, teach anybody you want. I'm a specialist in what? In children. Then what can be more important than children on earth? What? Nothing on earth is as important as that. All of us, we have children. You see how much we invest in them. So that's why I want after this program, you look up by organizing it, having documentation, having methodology, having programs. Yes, for troubled children, for this one children, for this one children, and you develop that. Anyone you don't know, you read, they're all there. You take courses and be a professional in that. And do you know the beauty about this kind of thing? The older you get, the more you are like wine. The older you get, the whatever. At a particular time in my life, I said, what I want to do, even when I'm 110, you just need, I may not even come out. You just put a camera here, put a mic on my, and then say, okay, let's welcome Dr. Kali. He says, I'm in the room. I'm just in my bed, and then I say, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Like you heard, my name is Kali Cussons. I'm going to tell you a story. Well, they told me to talk about innovation and creativity. Well, I'll tell you two stories. One, the story about, and then by the time I finish, those who pay $10,000 will add money to it and say, yeah, we needed to pay more. Because you can only get better with this kind of thing. What's the point we are making? What are you great at? So not just what you love. Find what you love, then find the ones you are great at. Then, what does the world need? Very important. That's the business side of it. So let's assume, Faith, I'm not going to call your name. Let's assume that somebody has a child who they're confused about. Okay, somebody has a child who, at age 3, he's stealing. Now, what would they tell you? They will say, what's the name, man? What's the name? Kemi. And they say, Mommy Kemi, carry this child or carry your child, go home, or he will stay with you for one semester or one term. You carry. You are feeding the child, in 3 months, they bring one bag of rice, they think they've done you a favor. No. If they say carry this child, please get it right for those who are listening online. What does the world need? If they say this child, carry this child. If you have products, you won't carry that child. What you will do is that, oh, you know how busy I am. We have kind of retreat for kids. It's called psychosomatic formation retreat for children between the ages of 2 and 4, for instance. That's what we call what? A product. She knows how to do it. It's not a product, it's a skill. Psychosomatic retreat for children between ages of is what? A product. People don't buy, she knows how to do it. People buy what? A product. So when they tell you this year will come for holiday for you. Oh, we don't know what is wrong with her. Say, no, our, children's retreat will start on the so and so. We are doing it at Pope John Paul, or we are doing that. All the kids will gather in one place. All with all my workers and staff, with security and all those. We take them through 2 weeks. So bring him there. But the registration is 450,000. I'm your friend now. So I didn't get Pope John Paul guests as free now. I'm their friend, but they didn't give it to me free. What will happen? The friends who cannot pay, they are withered away. The friends who can pay are there. Now, what will happen? 20 people pay 450,000. That is how much? That is about 9 million. So you can now use 3 million out of these 9 million and check what? All the people who cannot pay because they cannot pay. And you do what? You give them scholarship to join the program. Does it make sense to you? So when we teaching purpose, we are not teaching this purpose. People teach purpose, pursue your purpose. No. They are doing sensible pursuing of purpose. That's how I pursued my own purpose. There's a program I have, a mentorship program called Mastering and Monetizing Your Passion. Look at how many minutes we are. I'm just using you because I love what you are doing. That's why I'm using it. So can you imagine when you are in my program, what you can develop? So what's the point being made? The point is that what do you love doing? What are you great at? What does the world need? You do what? You sculpt it in such a way that you can exchange it. If somebody is giving me this water or in basin now, do you think I will buy it? How can you give me this water? How will I manage it? This person has productized this water. That is why I'm buying it. Auntie Faith, are you with me? Wonderful. So everything is what? Productizable. I was teaching you guys the other day. I was talking about the code list. Have you checked it? Code list, people who code, as their business. Why haven't you checked it? That's I thought I would call you. So what's the point being made? The point is that this concept, this hedgehog concept, is teaching you what? Know your passion, know your purpose, and productize it. Because if you don't productize it, what would then feed the purpose? You will be going around saying, I'm looking for money. What is holding me now is money. Money. No, money cannot come because money is only attracted. Yeah.
Regarding what you said,
Yeah.
I was watching all these motivational speakers.
Yeah.
They're saying that you can start a business without having money.
100%.
That there are two basic things that you need to put
Yeah.
in consideration. You have to take people's time and take their intelligence, their energy by creating time with them, talking to them. So by listening to them, you can have something that will start your business with, and they won't be
100%. If you look at my profile, anywhere you see it, it always ends with Dr. Kali is an expert in teaching you how you can make money without putting down cash. That's what my profile ends with.
Yeah. Something like that in the past. Mention something zero, whatever.
Yes. But that's not what we are teaching today.
I know. No,
don't mind me. I like giving you atakamus, Yes. Yes. So it's also in line with this infinite optionality, ability to know that there is a way. It's just that you've not found that way, and all those. But Mommy Kemi, is it making sense to you? Oh well, you love it, yeah? It's making sense, yes?
Sorry, you said know your passion, then know your problem. The second, know your purpose. Your purpose.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Is what you just described just now.
And that's what I've been describing now. Don't worry, when he goes home, when you are in the bed, he will explain it very well.
This is water.
Yes.
And you can also put this water in a basin.
Yes.
But somebody productizes this water.
Yes.
Putting it in
Yeah.
very portable can
Yeah.
you can take along with you anywhere.
Yeah.
You will not go back to your house and look for coffee and take water. There's a product already. From the same water you know.
Yes.
And that can be drinking. So what is trying to teach mama and mommy is this? You have been teaching these children.
Yeah.
You can productize that
Yeah.
teaching. You separate some kind
Aspect of
product.
it.
Yes. Okay, you want to teach the children on this. You want to tell them on this during their holidays. You want to use it as a kind of avenue to advertise what you are doing, even to outside children.
Yeah.
To join this one. I don't know whether you understand.
Yes.
To make money from them, more money.
Pastor, when you go home now, take time and teach my friend. Oh dear. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, now so hey Mayomi, how are you? You came late today. Now let's start winding down. But let me teach one more. But I hope you guys understand this hedgehog thing. If you use it,
Let's talk about. They're talking about the productivity in you.
No.
What the word means.
yes.
What the word means is what.
No, what the word needs. Okay, I don't know if I can.
Okay, what does the word need? Okay, don't worry, let me explain. Now, what the word needs is there are few ways you can find what the word is. You are dragging me now. You are doing like Uncle Femi. Now, there are a few ways you can know what the word needs. Number one, they have a problem that will connect with that solution you want to bring to the table. So, what problem do you think Dangote is passing through right now? What problem do you think Dino Melaye is passing through right now? What problem do you think Rochas Okorocha? You know, we go online now. Rochas they are bullying him everywhere. they say he wasn't a good governor. Then he wants to be president, and then he's explaining and he will keep making more mistakes. He's now in trouble in the hands of IPOP. If I want to help him now, yes, and he gives me 1 million now. 1 billion. Yes, as my consultancy fee. Now I will script it. By denying, he cannot use denying to do what? To solve this problem now. That's what we call strategic communications. Let's assume they are calling you a thief. They say you are very corrupt. You are very corrupt. If you are going to say I'm not corrupt, people will be laughing. What do you expect him to say? But now look at it. You went and next month you launch a book on anti-corruption. Another month you launch a book on anti-corruption. Another month you have conference on anti-corruption. What happens? You're not answering those people. You don't need to answer them. And when people read the book on how you should not be corrupt and they see everything, they will say, truth to God, the man who wrote this thing can never be corrupt. How can he know all these things and he's corrupt? It's not possible. That's what we call strategic communication. Okay. Now that's a product I can sell to him. I'm just using that. So you can see everybody has his own problem. Everybody has his own problem. A pastor who is in small church, he wants the church to grow. A person who has small school, he wants the school to grow. Somebody who is having eye problem, some men will go one round, they can't go again, according to tradomedical people. They want to do what? They want to go many rounds. So many problems on earth. Some people, when they go to sleep, they are hearing voices. Now they need a spiritual something. All kinds of problems. My son, has a problem with what? Handwriting. In my primary one, my teacher used to beat me. What do I do? What am I doing? My friends are writing A. My friends are writing B. And how do I write? I am a boy. I schooled in Abaso. Ngwa, the woman will say, she was just like, why are you writing like this? Like cursive. From primary one. Now I'm seeing it in my son. Very big problem for me. He has a special teacher now who is helping him to change his handwriting. I checked yesterday. His handwriting is now a lot more legible. It's a problem. And I pay, if I tell you how much I pay more than the money they pay civil servants. You hire civil servants. No, it's not a joke now. Like if you are paying somebody 150,000 a month to teach a child that, now how many people earn it normally? Yeah. Why am I paying that? Without that, you cannot amount to anything in school. because his teacher will not see his writing. They will mark him down. He will, and he will, it can affect his confidence. So I'm not paying because I'm richer than anybody. I'm paying because of what? The possible outcome of this thing.
Some other talent.
Yes.
Of his.
Yes, it will kill the other talent of his.
But there are some people that use left. I don't believe that they are always more successful than those of us that use right. I don't know.
Yeah, they said they are more there. Because of the left part of the brain or the right part of, when you write with left, maybe right or what.
So I'm blocking from writing with left and then by force learn right.
Okay, your son.
So I'm asking you to do such.
No, he's not right. He's writing with right, but it's not good. The writing is not good.
It's not readable.
It's not readable. That's why I want him to write something legible. It happened to me up to today. My handwriting is not good. Why? I'm writing as I'm thinking. I'm writing at the speed of my thinking. It's not good. I should write things that people can read. Yeah. I don't know the implication, whether it will redundant to him or not, but I know that probably if the teacher cannot read his handwriting, his teachers are complaining. Every school he goes to, they are complaining. They say he's intelligent, he's the most intelligent person in their classes, but we can't see what he's writing. So how can he make a good score? So, but you pointed out something very important. Trying to slow him to write it, will it not? I don't know those ones. I'm not an expert on that. So, but what I'm doing as a good father, that's what I am doing now. So what's the point I'm making? Common to help him have good handwriting. I'm paying for it. You get that point? So that is very important for you to understand that everything is what is products. It's only talking to the right people who can understand what you said. We are ending here. Let me just talk about the next one. The next one is what I talked about yesterday. I have 25 tools I want to discuss with us here. So you draw this thing. Yes, you draw like a square and divide it into 4. Draw like a square and divide it into 4. Okay, just like this. Okay, so let's look at it. Now, we're talking about how to improve on and discover your purpose. So the one at the right is what we call incompetence. No, by the right, down. Incompetence. Okay? The one by the left.
Lower left.
Yeah, the lower left, yes, sir. Lower right, incompetence. Lower left, competence. Upper right, excellence. Upper left, genius. Genius. Upper left. Lower right, incompetence. Lower left, competence. Upper right, excellence. Upper left, genius. Now, that's another tool. Yeah? Wow. Only my man said, you are excellent in teaching people how to make money. You are such a wonderful teacher, coach, and mentor. With the little time I have known you, my mindset has been shifted. God bless you, sir. Thank you, Professor Oni. Okay. Oni, sorry. Femi collected me the other day. Oni. And now, be fair to me now. Be fair to me now. Oh dear. He has the opportunity now to hit me. Don't worry. Okay, so now we're talking about tools for discovering and doing what you see me. Now look at now. You are going to see something. I said I'm going to end by 6. You see, and I say I'm going to end by 6:10, and I say I'm going to end by. You can see when you're doing what you love. You didn't pay to be here. I have a training that I'm paid millions that's starting tomorrow, and still I'm here.
They said miserable people, they see life as maybe a non-spark, while successful people see it as a sparkle. Life is just a spark.
Wonderful.
We just spent like almost 3 hours now, and we
don't
even notice.
We don't-
And we're not feeling tired and all that. Because we
Nobody's
are-
dosing, nobody's.
Yes.
When you are in your element, that's what happened. And you see why, Uncle Femi, you see why I will shout. You know, anybody who comes around me will say, what is this thing about purpose? What is this thing about what you love? What is this thing? Because if you find it, you will succeed. Because whenever you are doing it, you are in your element. It will look at how this man wanted to die. You know, nobody's telling me that this man is meant for consulting, for training, for teaching, writing books, finding problem to solution, and don't relaxing and drinking tea. Read, write, relax, drink tea, go solve people's problem. That's where he belongs. Since he met me, just no more than 2 weeks now, he's been following me bomber to bomber, bomber to bomber, bomber to everything he wants to pay, he wants to do, he's engrossed. Go online, everywhere. This man has written everything about me online. People will think, who is this new man that they paid, who is doing a PR for him? Everywhere he go, he writing things out. I don't know where he lives. He was here yesterday, he's here today. That's how you know what you love. Look at it, it's 7 o'clock already. I forgot that I should be going home. But because of Uncle Femi, I have to really end this thing now.
Otherwise, you will throw more questions.
I want to know the confidence of your incompetence.
I know you.
Oh dear. Uncle Femi. Okay, now, so let's quickly talk about it. Incompetence. Yeah. Now, a lot of people don't really exist at the level of incompetence. They easily live there. You know, a few people that exist there, they don't know anything about, what they do. So don't exist there because it's not a good place to be. But you see, that is not a problem, because when you're incompetent about something, what happens? You try to be competent about it. But that is the problem. The problem is that competence is still at the lower rung of the ladder. So a lot of people are existing at the competence level. I know how to do it. I know how to do it. If I ask evangelist, he has preached, he can convert people and all those kind of. What other gifts have you added? What other things have you discovered about God? We're not in a religious gathering, otherwise I would have told you. But the point is, your ability to now know that there's deepest. Every single thing you are doing, what happens? You are going to do what? Keep going, keep going. I have a lot of mentees who are bishops, who are pastors. You know the first assignment I give them? I give them every book ever written by Kenneth Hagin to read. Is a religious, is a Christian, yeah. Ever written by Kenneth Hagin, ever. I'm not talking about you read one or two of them or whatever. Read all books by Kenneth Hagin. You see, that is what you are no more comfortable with. What? Competence. They called me and I went and explained the word of God. No, it's good that when you bring out this Bible and you talk something about this Bible and people are wondering, is it in this Bible? That's why Uncle Femi will always, whenever I talk, he will just do like this, open his eyes, like this man is talking heresy. Don't worry. I know when you are mischievous. I know when you are mischievous and when you are not safe. And but when I start proving it to him, I will show him all the places. Femi will just go down. So okay, Okay, what's the point I'm making? That's on a lighter mode. But Pastor, you know what I mean? Yes? Jesus was so powerful that his shadow could heal. It's not a function. Nobody has that. I see pastors who say, my GO is blocking me. My this one is. I say, you are most men most miserable. GO blocking you. Are you stupid? If you do what I tell you to do now, there's what I call deflection. Deflection is there. You wake up in the morning, you are hungry, you eat fruit, you eat a little food, you eat. If you do this thing, like you every time you don't eat more than 60 or 70% of your filling. I mean, when you eat 100%. Now you eat up to 70%, 80%, and then most times you eat fruit. Make sure you don't get ulcer and all those. You see, this flesh, you start looking for it. There's level of spirituality that you will see, and the level of the miracles you will start doing. This thing called miracle. Unbelievers, psychologists, and all that, they do miracle. What miracle is as powerful as hypnosis? They don't use they don't use what do you call it? They don't use juju. It's not juju. They minister to your mind, and then what of the person we say is Jesus is living inside of him. Colossians 1:27. The Christ in you, the hope of glory. Pastor, don't think I'm picking on you. I know you're a spiritual man. So, but you get the point I'm making.
I'm picking on a lot of things.
Oh, yes, you know that point I'm making. The point I'm making is that competence is the problem we have. We are good at it. We are just okay. We don't know even that there is we think that higher version belongs to some kind of people. No, push it to what? Excellence. Only a few, maybe 5% are at that level of excellence. Okay? Now, when you push it to excellence, what are we still saying? Excellence is not the.
Good enough.
You can go to genius.
Extraordinary.
Extraordinary. I'm not standing for anybody, but a lot of people were against the TB Joshua, against this one, because the man will do hand like this, the man will do this one. We that are educated, I have a PhD in philosophy, first, second, and third degrees, then read a lot of things. And we that are educated, because we have molded our mind in such a way, there are things. I can't see somebody who broke his leg, who has fracture, I said, touch your leg on the ground. My education will tell me not to. But that man is not educated. Do you get it? So for him, there are things that he doesn't even know that they are not possible. He prays, he believes that they're possible, and then he said, touch your hand, So education has a way of doing what? Of making you, yes. I know what I fought my sense of logic to start believing some certain things when it comes to God.
Even God himself quoted it, that God did not choose the competent. He chose the foolish. Did not choose the wise.
I didn't aspect of it in education.
So that is it.
Philosophy of education. So I know that
they hardly believe.
God.
Even when Jesus Christ was speaking his disciples, the same thing.
Do I look like someone who doesn't believe God? Okay, let's conclude. See, now Femi had left me. Now glad he's the person who is now.
I'm telling you that the woman.
I don't know. You ask another question. Okay, guys. Okay, very, very quickly. Let us just say what we have learned, very quickly, and then we just go home. Thank you guys for coming. I sincerely, thoroughly enjoyed myself since yesterday till today, and thank you for those who brought their friends and my friends online. Thank you. Please make sure you share, and then thank you. Those who are online, please write down what you've learned. And my friend Noram Uche said, well done, Carly. I'm enjoying the session. I will definitely see you by month. Okay, thank you, sir. Dr. Oluchi said, I believe so much in you. You are a gift to the generation. Thank you so much for making yourself available to be used to affect life possible. Thank you. Bishara said, Doctor, is there any assignment to give me? Oh dear, Bishara, there's no assignment. Okay, very quickly, let's start from here. They said those at the left will go to where? Is it hellfire? And those at the right will go to heaven. Okay, so let's start from Alexandra. Okay, yeah. Alexandra, quickly, what did you pick? Quickly. Be loud, we have online audience.
I think mostly from habitation.
Yeah.
Like I personally started a business online. I was like so scared to like share it.
Yeah.
So my mindset was just that we actually buy.
Yeah.
So thinking like encouraging myself and taking more steps.
What are you doing? You are selling fashion
Bags.
bags.
And also I'm doing my Valentine package.
Okay. Okay.
And also what I love doing, especially from I love doing and what I'm great at.
Yes.
I feel like we're the same thing. I probably like writing. So just figuring it out. So you're helping me, like you're enlightening me more.
Wonderful. So you know that offering box there. When you are going and you put your tithes. Okay, Faith, quickly.
What I mean is, your reason, number one thing that's the reason for waking up is personally, I actually love writing, but sometimes I write things and then I don't work towards it.
Yeah.
But this energy, writing it down, working towards it, including adding energy to it,
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from it, and I think that I will start working on it from that one. And then secondly, I just realized that everybody is actually the selling market.
Yeah.
Because you can actually sell your idea, rather turn your idea into product and then you make money.
Yeah.
So that,
Wonderful. Great.
Confidence and courage. Courage and confidence, like I said earlier. I really imparted so much to it that one has to have confidence and courage to avoid procrastination.
To avoid procrastination.
I want to do, I want to have the courage to
Do that.
The world itself cannot never move until you start to move.
100%.
Yes.
Thank
So,
you.
Yes, I really believe that.
God bless. Thank you very much. Glad.
So what I learned is that nobody can succeed in what you are doing. That's what you do. But if you are doing what you don't love,
Yes.
you will not succeed.
Yes.
Rather, you go under pressure.
Yes.
You go under pressure.
Yes.
And you will not be happy.
Yes. And the best in you cannot come out. The best in you cannot come. Anytime you're under pressure, the best in you cannot come out. I went to Europe to study IT. Every day I go to class, I don't understand what they teach. Every day I go to class, I don't understand what they teach. I take my computer because they gave us computer. That's many years ago. They gave us computer to go home. I take my laptop, I go home. Immediately I open it and I type something. The laptop will crash for no just cause. Like they are pursuing me from Nigeria to Europe. Village people. I take it back the next day. And so I didn't learn what happened today, and I'm carrying over to the next day. And they teach that one. I carry another laptop. I come back home. I open it. Immediately I touch it, the computer will crash. Yes, I was just unhappy, depressed. Yeah. When I called my wife, I just had my first girl. She was about a few months then, the one you saw there. When I call my wife, she will find out that I'm depressed. So now she told me one day I called her and said, these people, I don't understand, and I still have a lot of months to go. She asked me, are there white people there? I said, I'm in Europe now. They're all white people. She asked me another question. Are there white women there? I said, yes, there are a lot of white men. I didn't know why she was asking. We are not. We are maybe 2 years in marriage. So she now asked me. She now told me, don't study again. Pursue women, white women. When you come back, then we'll continue. But now, don't study again. Don't study. When you go to class, for the first time in weeks, I laughed. I said, this woman, you are very stupid. How can you be talking rubbish? I'm telling you, I'm complaining to you and you are talking rubbish. And she said, no, I'm serious. Don't learn again. This thing want to kill you. Pursue women, then when you finish, come back. I laughed again. We finished that discussion. All through the night, when I wake up from cold, I remember my wife and what she told me. I will laugh. And although the first time I'm laughing in many weeks. Now, do you know what? When I was going to school the next morning, when I remember what she told me, as I'm going, I will be laughing. I said, these people thought I'm here for schooling. I'm here to pursue women, according to my wife. And so when I go to class, I was still remembering that and I was laughing. When they were teaching, I was saying, these people are teaching. They don't know I'm not here to learn again. Do you know, I'm talking about pressure. Yeah, I'm talking about stress. Do you know, as they were teaching, I was looking at them. When it wants to get hard, I will laugh with that thing. My head did. That was how my head opened to that thing they were teaching. why I'm trying to talk about it is this thing we call pressure. You won't understand it. You won't understand the impact on productivity. Yes, that was how. Today I'm an IT expert, but my company makes so much money from IT. Just that. Because I left that pressure. God used my wife to just say something that was funny. It was cracking me up all through the night, all through the day. That was how it ended. Even my computer stopped misbehaving. Everything became nice. Bible says, with joy you draw from the wells of salvation. Yeah, Pastor, quickly.
Yeah. First of all, I really want to thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
For your time and the great work you are doing. I've actually learned a lot of things, but I just want to dwell on prioritizing your.
Don't dwell, oh. Just pass through.
No, we dwell in the shadow.
Auntie Kemi wants to go home. Don't dwell. Oh, dear. Pastor.
I want to talk about prioritizing what you love doing, the talent, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Recently, I discovered that for some years I've been teaching out so many things online.
Yeah.
Ministering to people, prayer points, and the rest. I spend my data and the rest. After a while, God asked me to stop. And since He asked me to stop, I've been asking some questions. Then He asked me, who paid you for what you are doing? I said, why God is asking me this question? Now, I'm now relating that question the Lord asked me to what you just said now.
Yeah.
That there is a way, because I just later on after that question, I started developing a kind of mindset and idea that no, some of these things I can put them into print. Maybe if I'm going out to minister, I can also send them prayer points, the things that people need spiritually. And it has been helping people. People are calling me across the globe. So that is one of the things I pick up strongly.
Yeah.
Then again, I also discovered the last session that we talked about now, about the first one.
Yeah.
That Jesus Christ also used a kind of method to prove himself extraordinarily to the world. What did he do? He did something that was a kind of unimaginable.
Yeah.
And what happened? There was increment for soul winning. And what was that? That was when he fed the 5,000 men with just five loaves of bread and 2 fishes. When people ate and they knew that they were hungry and somebody fed them, they went out. Instead of Jesus Christ going into the interior and the villages, they themselves became overnight evangelists.
Yes, the next day everywhere. In fact, Jesus had to tell them, I know why you are here. You are here for food.
So
Thank you, sir.
It's a very big thing that I've learned.
Thank you.
Getting into what Jesus Christ is during the
wonderful.
So I'm glad. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Uncle Femi, quickly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mine is just 2 sentences. First one is for the last class.
Engineer.
I learned that we should have zero tolerance for crime.
Yeah.
And that will cause crime. Instead of crying, think forward and look for how to overcome that thing.
Simple.
Because there is ability in disability.
100%.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
Second one today is about the purpose. Everybody is unique.
Yeah.
And then the proofs, 3 proofs will give us.
Yeah.
The ID card, because I want the ID card of this.
Oh, okay.
Everybody has unique fingerprints.
No, that person.
Then your attitude was things. And then you have a vacuum for God in your mind.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 proofs.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Auntie Kemi.
Thank you very much. I really want to appreciate you for this. And then,
what did my guy tell you before he brought you? So like, come, let's go and see one guy. He has one head, big head there. You always like insulting me.
Let's just go out.
Okay.
So this when you said purposeful people live by principle.
Yeah. You understand?
I really
connected.
Yes, connected, because I discovered that even in the work that I do, there are some things that I don't allow. Parents. Are very, very difficult.
Yeah, 100%.
Sometimes I just stand my ground.
Yeah.
And I do
the right thing.
Yes, I need to do.
For
Yeah.
example, I want to give an example of kids that are born southpaw.
They are born.
Southpaw. Left.
Oh, okay, left hand. Okay, okay.
Yes. So most parents, they don't really understand that you don't try to change.
Oh.
So sometimes they bring in religion, and I say in my class, I will not.
Oh, you allow them.
You allow them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and there are some kids that have been able. You see them. I don't know how to explain it. You see the kids, they cannot comprehend anything because they are being forced to eat with the right hand.
Yeah,
With the right hand.
yeah.
It's affecting them.
Yes.
So I've been able to, help some of them.
Wonderful.
In that aspect.
Yeah.
I really thank you again for this. Your reason for waking up every day, happy to do this.
Yeah.
So that is what I'm going to now. I'm going to
Welcome.
And you do that.
Yeah,
But I don't.
Wow.
I just wake up. What I'm going to do.
Yes, you do.
My
Yeah.
passion is to
Yeah.
then bask in the
Yeah.
area of being with those kids.
I want in the next 3 months, your book has started coming out. Yeah. Yeah. It's not a prayer thing. When you want to eat breakfast, you don't pray. You don't say, "Oh God, I'm praying for breakfast." No, you go and eat breakfast. Yeah. So let's not bring God into what He has given to us. Okay. Yes, Uncle Dave.
You mentioned about job skill, personal skill, and self skill. The personal skill
And job skill, sales skill, and personal skill.
It's a personal skill. It's more like having force.
Yes, yes.
So when you develop yourself in those skills, it gives you courage and confidence.
And multiplies the other skills. Yes. Wow. Okay, it resonated with you. Wonderful. Yes, Nancy.
I actually learned from the one you talked about what you love, what you are great at, and what the world needs.
Yeah.
Actually understood that you can know how to do something, like the illustration of the water.
Yes.
You may know how to do something, but you are wasting your energy without turning it into money.
Yeah.
For example, somebody can be doing what you are doing, but he doesn't know how to do it.
Yes.
This is a very great eye-opening to me.
Yeah.
Because I like, and another one is this product of a thing.
Yeah.
I like to think, I like to be creative. Like she said, I like writing.
Yeah.
I will put down things, but how to turn it into money is
Still missing.
yes.
Because sometimes it's not even a question of you've not written well. Sometimes you are even afraid to push it and the confidence to feel that people can pay for it.
For some years, I have books things that are written that I want to develop, put it into book, but it has been like a lot of things. If I like to be creative, in fact, I love knowledge.
You see.
When once I saw your mail, give Jeremiah by marriage, I'm at now. When I saw your mail, I said, all this business, because of the things I've experienced, but something just told me, go into the profile. I read, I looked at the profile, I said, I told my husband, if my husband said, are you sure? I said, trust me, I can't even fall into these things. I've looked at the profile, we have to go there. That was yesterday evening. I said, the profile tells me that this person knows what he's doing. I need to be there because I love knowledge.
I'm feeling like a big boy now,
I love knowledge. I like to discover.
Wow.
New things.
Wow. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, Uncle Philip, quickly.
I'm happy for you too. From maybe for the benefit of those that are just coming.
Yeah.
For today, anyway, I fall into part of what
he's saying.
At the time, I used to write down what I want to achieve. But after some time, I just told you. In fact, to the extent that sometimes I write on one calendar.
Okay.
This year, this for the fish farm, this and that, and then we need to achieve it. But at the end of the day, I may either not achieve any or
you lose that drive.
Losing that right. Then I've learned in this class that I still have values, even getting close to retirement.
Yeah.
That there's so much values in me that I've been out of fear,
yeah.
which he described as false evidence that are appearing real.
Yeah.
Which I think, if the cover, if you have not started, you take note of that fear in you that is taking you away from your online marketing.
Yeah.
It's just false evidence. So, and then there was a lady here yesterday, I didn't know that she didn't come, who told us that because it has
By
been
mail.
yeah, it was the mail, one mail.
Yes.
I think I noted what you said to her, that he should that she should do that fair.
Yeah, do the fear.
Do the fair. He said it was that do the fair thing. He elaborated a bit more on that. That it was that do the fair. Things that she was actually fearing about to do. So all that fear, do it. So the other thing I learned from doctors tutelage here was that nobody is born poor.
Yeah, nobody.
Nobody is born poor.
Nobody.
And there's no issue of, and when you look around yourself, you discover that why do we have the poor and the rich in the same? So you choose which one you want.
Yeah.
So it's been a very wonderful.
Thank you very much,
But
sir.
I've not been the same again since that day.
Thank you.
And I'm looking for more.
Thank you very much. So I want to appreciate you guys. Let me just read 1-2 comments here. Yomi is my friend. He said, sorry for joining late, but one of the things I learned is not to relax on stage 3, which is excellence, but push to become a genius. Kindly resend the website you mentioned yesterday for downloading books.
Okay.
Thanks so much for exposition. Okay, pdfdrive.net. Okay, pdfdrive.net. Okay, so now my friend Jude was my classmate in the university. He said, I've learned to use my skills to create products. And then my friend engineer Kilobas Binga said, excellent and enlightening exposition on how to be successful in life, especially doing things that you have passion for and knowing what the world needs. Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you, guys. God bless you. Thank you so much. For those who are here, you come one by one. We take a selfie, and then you go. God bless you. Thank you.
There's something I want you to let me.
Why not let's finish now when they are going. You can ask me now, so we don't keep them.
Out of the car, I still go to the road, sir. That word genius. I used to honestly believe that is inborn. That geniuses are born.
So now the point is, if you put in 10,000 hours in anything, you become a very serious expert in it. Then if you put in 20,000 hours, you will start going to that level of a genius. You do things that will marvel you. One of the best gifts that God gave humanity, brain plasticity. Brain plasticity means that the human brain can adjust. Is a news. It can adjust to anything. If you want to learn, what do you call it, piano now, and you learn it and you put in the right hours, you find out that you start becoming that. Now, if you read 1 hour every day, in a week, you read about 1 book. And in a year, you read about 52 books. And what you need to be a PhD holder in any Ivy League school is to synthesize about what? 50 books. So that means informally, you are going to get a PhD every year. In 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it starts appearing. It has been said that when you read 1 hour every day, in 3 years, you become a local champion. In 5 years, you go to the level of a national champion. And in 7 years, you'll be reckoned with globally. Yes? So the truth about it is that the human mind can turn into anything. And that is the gift God gave us. One of the greatest mistakes you can say God made, if you want to look at it logically, is what? Free will. Why did he not make Adam an innocent machine, innocent automaton, a machine that cannot do what, that cannot sin, who doesn't have option but to choose the right? Why did he make him to have the capacity to choose the right, even when he has sinned? You could have removed that tree inside there. What's the need of that tree? You know that tree is not doing any job. What do you want to tempt us? You tempt us, you've gotten us. Then why are you blaming us? No, we don't we don't need to go into that. All we need to talk about is that the fact that we have the capacity to do what? To choose good and bad shows that God has given us power. Like my mommy Kemi, who will now tell you he's praying for the grace of God to write book. Why are you deceiving yourself? What grace do you need to write a book? Go to your room now, have a table, call it children's book table. Every morning, 5:30, you spend 30 minutes there. Every morning, 5:30, have open notebooks there. You spend 30 minutes there every morning. If you do it for 30 days, you spend 15 hours. Then, if at your level you can spend 15 hours without writing a book, then we should send you to somewhere, the psychiatric hospital. What's the point? The point is that we are always what? We are always going into bad faith. So genius can be developed, but it's your business to believe what you want. The truth is, I've proven it in my own life. I've proven it with children I work with. I've proven it with everybody. Even this, my friend Sunny, if you saw him the day they come here, you won't know he's this intelligent. Yes? But you see, Sunny has read and read and read and read. I know even in his office now, they will know. One of the persons she came with who is trying to beg me to be the mentor, she said they have posted her out from an office to another office by virtue of what she had done within the little time that she spoke with me. Yes, these things are you train a child, you train cats. Yes, as I said, do you have a cat? You have a dog. What's the name of your dog? Eh? Dante. It means what? What does it mean? And you comment, I know what Dante means, so go and do. Dante means you are stupid. Okay. Okay, now we train dogs, and dog will do what? Will shake. Is it true? We train a lot of dogs now, they recognize letters. Drink, this one, 2, 3. If you say like back once, they'll back once. You say back 10 times, they'll back 10 times. Dog. Is it not genius? A dog, a human being, train a dog to shake. So what are you talking about? Why do we always bring God into what he has given us power to do? He has paid our school fees to go and learn this, and then we want to bring him back to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. God bless you. Okay. So